Factor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10. Jure, Big Jack with us, too. Glad that you're here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
You graduated him?
What do you mean?
Well, you had Big Jack now. It's like now that he's into the next week, he's growing.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I said Big Jack.
I know.
I
Felt very strange to me. That's okay. I'm trying to set realistic goals.
Yeah, I know.
I do have a question for Jack.
Make myself a note, though, not to do that.
Don't ask him on the air.
Why not?
Yeah. What's your question?
Well, I just wanted, we talked about this a little on Friday after the show. Jack, do you understand the Simple Jack reference? Have you ever seen Tropic Thunder?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, all right. That settles that.
All right.
So maybe look it up, Jack. Because you'll probably get a laugh out of it, I'm sure.
There's a lot of love there.
Yes, it is.
There is.
Yes, that's right.
If you're not being made fun of on a radio show, then no one cares about you.
That's right. If you're not being made fun of, folks either A, don't care or don't want you around. It could be either one.
That's right. They've forgotten you.
That's
You
right.
don't matter.
You never, ever want to be the one that's not being made fun of.
Yes.
It's like a rite of passage, really.
Absolutely. You want to be the butt of jokes. You want to have stuff happen to you.
That's right. Telling you. It's just the way. I don't know why it works this way, but it always has.
It's like a clubhouse.
Yeah.
You know, if guys aren't including you in the joke or messing with you, well, they don't like you.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. The old clubhouse, dude. Who doesn't want to be part of the team, part of the clubhouse? And Simple Jack is certainly that.
That's right. Simply.
Speaking of clubhouses, all I did this weekend was watch college baseball. That's it.
I know.
Did nothing else.
I know. I actually put it in my sports headlines for you.
Well, thank you. Well, Georgia got their tails kicked. Yeah, I was watching. I kept thinking maybe.
Everything was working out fine Friday.
Yeah. Then went south from there.
It's difficult in regional because if you don't understand the format, so you get a 4-team tournament, and basically you're trying to get out of regional just to get down to super regional, where now we're at 16 teams, and it's a best of 3. And if you can get through that one, now you're down to the last 8. So it's a crazy tournament where you start off with as many as 64, and then you get all the way down to 8, everyone in Omaha. But it's so hard to get through the regional and super regional.
Yeah, it is. Ask Vanderbilt, ask Georgia Tech, ask Georgia. All of them got beat up pretty good. And but it was fun, man. My team lost, but it doesn't matter. I enjoyed watching baseball. It's so much fun. There's nothing better. I love college baseball.
Well, you're right in the middle of it right now.
But even before my kid was playing college baseball, we watched every year. It's just something we did. I guess because he was playing ball, and it made it that much more interesting to us. And yeah, man, it was just a fun weekend. And then we, a bunch of our friend group got together. And we went down to the neighborhood pool. We had to be invited because we can't afford to get in.
My key card still doesn't work. We have been emailing over to the property management people, and we keep getting back it'll work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
okay. Check it out, and it doesn't work. Yeah, it's still and now this is going on in the neighborhood, and of course your neighborhood Facebook page is exactly where you have to go to air this stuff out, of course.
Yeah, and then once you air it out there, finally the ball gets rolling.
And then I was a little bit bothered by our Florida neighborhood, which we'll be checking out of there in about a month. But somebody had lost their dog, and they spent all weekend posting like every 20 minutes to the point where I kind of wish that Cash wasn't found.
Oh, no, his name was Cash too?
Yeah, and they did find him.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad.
But it got to the point where, seriously, people.
Yeah, man, I get it.
I get it, but how often?
I don't know what the number is.
How many times would you post?
Probably a lot.
Plus one?
Yeah, I'd probably go, yeah. 3, 4, 5, yeah. Probably.
8?
No, probably wouldn't go that far.
Okay, that's what we were dealing with.
Yeah. I know, but people get, it's their dog. People get attached to their dog.
Get your ass up and go find your dog.
It's like on Billy Madison.
Has anyone seen the dog?
Yeah.
Has anyone found the dog yet?
Well, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they weren't just posting. They were probably looking around, too.
I got kind of the impression that they weren't really working the way they needed to.
Do you think
They were using that social media fingers in order to validate.
Do you think that those people didn't want to find their dog?
No, they wanted to find their dog. It was just a minimal amount of effort.
Just like on Billy Madison.
It's the same way when people post. Like, oh, well, I posted. Like my uncle, he's nuts. He thinks that he's doing something for America by posting about Donald Trump every day.
Right. And he's not.
But yet he's not paying taxes.
Because most people...
He ain't out there grinding.
Yeah. Most people just hit snooze for 30 days.
That's right.
We just don't even see it. That's what I always do.
I just go, oh, I see crazy again.
That's exactly right. And as soon as crazy pops up, I just hit snooze for 30 days. And I almost take some joy in it.
If you wanted to show me some hustle, you'd go out and look around for that dog.
Yeah, get out, get off your ass and go find a dog.
Now,
They want the dog back, but they don't want to go find the dog.
That's slow down there. If that's the way it broke out, if that's the way it happened, that's low down.
I mean, it was
if our cash was gone, dude, I'd be up and ever holler and ever heel. I'd be finding that dog. I would have Dragnet behind me. I'm telling you, man, I would be out there. Yeah, that's terrible if they just halfway did it. You can't do that. Here's another thing that's happening. Metallica's coming to town tomorrow. One of the biggest rock bands in the history of the world coming tomorrow to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And we have a pair of tickets to give away. Going to do that in the 7 o'clock hour. If you're a fan of Metallica, have never seen them or seen them a dozen times, we'll get a pair of tickets to give away in the 7 o'clock hour this morning. We do need to figure out how to give them away. Is it just simply calling it 5, or we're going to make people turn cartwheels? We're going to make them bring us breakfast? What is it?
First off, it's shocking that when it comes to this massive of a ticket, we've obtained them to give them away.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I think it is?
I'll give you the answer, but go ahead. I'd like to hear your theory first, Doctor.
Yeah, sure. Metallica is a big act. Mm-hmm. Mercedes-Benz Stadium is a gigantic facility.
Yes.
And they've not sold all the tickets they expected to sell for Metallica.
Are they doing 2 nights here, or is it just the one night?
It's just the one night.
Because on a lot of these cities that they're doing 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Last time they came through, they did Truist over here.
Yep, they did. I don't know how ticket sales went there, but
sold out.
With the blanketing of tickets that I've seen, it seems that the sales may be less than they expected.
You think that the idea of Metallica has run its course?
I mean, it just depends.
It's got a pretty hardcore audience, and no one buys merch in the business like Metallica fans. They are by far every year the biggest merch band.
I'll give you that. They always, and you can see it, man. They don't hold off, man. They wear Metallica T-shirts to Metallica concerts, and there's not one person that deviates.
They've got their own whiskey, the Blackened.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, considering that you don't make money anymore by selling albums. So it's your touring and your merch, and Metallica is known as like the merch band.
That's exactly right. So there you go. We got a pair of tickets to give to you around 7 o'clock.
So can I give people the real inside baseball stuff?
Yeah.
So if you stop listening, and I don't suggest it, I'm really not a fan of that. But if you did, then we would have more stuff to give away. Because that's how things work in this building.
Yes. Yeah, you've explained that and laid that out a few times.
You will notice
seen it happen.
That our sister station has giveaways all the time.
Yeah, right.
I wonder why. We don't give away very much, very often.
Not much of a need.
I wonder why.
We give away Los's stuff that he's getting rid of in the move.
That's right.
We gave away a trampoline.
You have a better chance of winning a trampoline from our radio station. But for some reason, we ended up with Metallica tickets. Now I'm happy with that. And that's very cool.
It's awesome.
But I also know the reason why. It's because we're doing so well. So thank you, audience.
That's exactly right.
If you stop listening, there'll be more giveaways.
That's right. So I don't know if you need all those giveaways, though.
No.
That and Metallica can't sell tickets at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Well, it's not just Metallica, too. I hear Beyonce's having some trouble. And Katy Perry's not. Katy Perry's having a real rough time.
J-Lo's not. I mean, there's a ton. Oh, matter of fact, this weekend, Shakira. Did you say Shakira?
No, I said Katy Perry.
Oh, sorry. Shakira and Jason Aldean, not together, but and Brooks and Dunn were doing a big show at Fenway, and the stage failed to pass inspection. They had to cancel the whole weekends of concerts.
Hang on. Shakira?
It was Friday night.
Oh, I thought this was one bill. I thought that's just an odd pairing.
No. That's why I said they weren't together. Then Brooks and Dunn with Jason Aldean
not
on
like
Saturday.
Brooks and Dunn together.
No, no.
We've established that.
Yes,
from
that's exactly
about
right.
A month ago.
For kicks and helps Ronnie with the show hair. It's really a nice process.
Your hair is beautiful tonight, Ronnie.
Here, take it back off. I'm gonna comb it.
It's still weird.
Sit it back up on the mannequin head. I'm gonna give it a brush.
I'm gonna brush it for you.
Los, have you ever seen Metallica?
No, I've never seen them live.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen them since high
They
school.
are like the last band on my bucket list that I would like to see. I've seen everybody else.
There you go, man. So we're giving away tickets today.
I've seen Def Leppard twice.
Dude, Def Leppard, they're still so good.
That just kind of hit me in that's a funny thing that I've pondered. I've seen Def Leppard twice, but I have never seen Metallica.
Dude, I like both bands a lot. They're totally different. Completely different. But
That
I
old
like both
joke
of them a lot.
still kills me.
Which one?
What has 7 arms and sucks?
Oh, yeah. Dude,
I've seen them twice.
Dude,
saw them in
Hysteria.
Austin and Dallas.
Hysteria is the best record of the 80s.
It's great.
Hands down, not a better record of the 80s than Hysteria. But 7 arms and sucks is funny. That dude, he taught himself to play the drums like inverted. Like
That's right.
when he lost his arm, now he plays the
car accident.
toms and the hi-hats and all that
Right.
with his feet.
His arm fell off in the
And
car accident,
does
so
the-
then you had to learn how to play.
Just do the bass with the one arm there. Yeah.
It's like a little miracle, isn't
It
it?
is. The fact you can teach yourself to replay the drum, I mean, it is pretty impressive. I'll give him credit for it. But, yeah, I dig Def Leppard a whole bunch. So I've seen them. I'm like you. I've seen them twice, too. Never in their heyday. I never saw them in the heyday.
Let's see. I think the first time I saw them was early to mid 90s. So, yeah, probably
Okay, yeah.
just beyond. They were still trying to do.
2 steps behind and
No, at this point, they're now starting to do. What was it? Let's Get Rocked.
yeah.
So that was like-
same record, I think, with 2 steps
Yeah,
behind on
that
it.
was like the tail end of it all.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah,
the
was
airplay was ending.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the name of that record was. Doesn't matter. But anyway,
It wasn't Pyromania or Hysteria.
it wasn't because those are the ones that mattered.
Right.
Then the rest were just whatever. High and Dry,
But-
even earlier than that.
So if you want to go see Metallica, or if you decide that you want to also see Def Leppard, we'll see what we can do about those tickets.
That's right. Surely they're coming back. I mean, they've been here the last 3 summers with Journey and the Pretenders. I mean, they've.
Oh,
they've
look,
done
when I
this
search Def Leppard, the first thing that pops up is Def Leppard Atlanta.
Okay, they already got a date.
Well, it has last year's date.
Oh, got it.
But let's see. StubHub does have 2025 concert dates, so they're still.
They're planning. They're in the planning process.
Birmingham on June 25th. That looks like the closest they're getting to
Yeah.
us.
Okay,
I was
well,
gonna
they've
say.
done it the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
so.
they got some Canada shows, but yeah, looks like Birmingham's about the closest.
Well, look, who doesn't love to go to Birmingham? I mean, if you're going to go.
If you wanted cheap airline tickets and Def Leppard,
Or just a quick 3-hour drive.
see you in Birmingham.
Head over to Birmingham. There you go. I don't know that I'd be doing that. I'm like Los. You've seen them twice. I don't know that I need to go again. I think I got my taste, and then if I need to listen to them some more, I can do that. You know, you just pull up Apple Music and you're good. Right?
I just love the idea of like, and we got Metallica tickets to give away in the 7 o'clock hour. We still haven't figured how we're going to do it.
No.
But we
Yeah.
might leave it to Simple Jack, which means who knows how we're going to give these away.
That's right. Be pondering it. Brainstorm back there.
Jack is thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
Call a number 6.
And it's finger.
That's right. Call her number.
Call up and guess blue. You got a really good shot at it.
We did have someone call last week that they were giving them away on 680, and they called and they're like, "I'm here for the Metallica tickets." I said, "This is the wrong number." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, we
oh,
got
I
that.
called the wrong one.
Yeah. But mandatory Monday Metallica.
Yes.
That's what
All
we have
right.
today. That's what they used to do on the rock stations. They always do mandatory.
Mandatory Metallica Monday.
Yeah. They were just, every hour.
Just
whatever it was.
Injustice for All is on a loop.
I
We're gonna
listen to that a bunch over
We're going
the
to ride the lightning.
That's right. I love that record, and Master of the Puppets is good too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't. After the Black Album, I was kind of
that was the pinnacle.
Yeah,
the Black Album was the monster,
and then was it Fuel
Load,
but it had Fuel on there.
Yeah, because by the time we had Enter Sandman, that was that was it.
Bam.
Their covers album with it's called Garage Inc.
Oh yeah,
that is a great record. And then the Symphony in Metallica that they did.
That actually was really good too.
That's awesome.
I kind of thought that was cool. Yeah.
But I pulled up the new album. Was it M73? I think I pulled up, listened to a few tracks. That's fine. But it's not anything.
It's
that makes
Metallica.
Yeah, just
James Hetfield got clean and sober,
right.
and
he's a grandfather.
He did Joe Rogan, and I want to say that he kind of started going to church and went and gave his life to God. But now he still goes out and plays rock and roll songs.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, that early Metallica stuff was all based on Bible verses.
Is that right?
Yeah. Go back and look it up. Yeah, there's a lot of Metallica that references a lot of biblical history.
7 o'clock hour. Your favorite Metallica Bible verse.
That's right.
Can win tickets.
It turns out especially the Old Testament, the Bible's pretty metal.
Yeah, it is, man. Dude, it totally is.
Yeah.
And that's why it made
Old Testament, the whole fire and brimstone, or a vengeful God.
Pillar of fire that followed them around for
all of it. Dude, that's correct. That's why it made so much sense. And I remember when I first kind of figured that out, I was like, well, wait a minute. What is this? Why? As a young kid, you didn't put it all together. As an adult, you're like, this is hellfire brimstone.
Well, you understand that when you go through the Torah and you're like, wow, this is a God that's looking to spank you. By the time you get to the New Testament, it's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Just kidding around for, a millennia.
Yeah, right. Sent Jesus to take care of it for you. It is mandatory Metallica Monday on Extra 106.3. Feel like we're going to a Virginia Tech football game as we head into the first break. 404-741-1230. Make sure you have that number handy. You'll want it during the 7 o'clock hour if you want to go see Metallica at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It will be a fun show. When we come back, we have a guest that's going to explain how Donald Trump plans to rein in those prescription drug costs. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Mandatory Monday Metallica.
The Morning Extra has you covered until 10 a.m. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, and Buck Sexton at noon, and The Kimmer Show taking over at 3, only on Extra 106.3.
Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
It's June 2nd, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Rocky Road Day. Go ahead, indulge in 2 scoops of this delicious ice cream treat featuring nuts, mini marshmallows, and chunks of semi-sweet chocolate. Also on this day in 1979, Pope John Paul II becomes the first pontiff to visit a communist country. Millions of people line the streets of Warsaw as the Pope began his 9-day trip to his native Poland. If you've been to a wedding, you've heard this. Felix Mendelssohn's Wedding March is used at a wedding for the first time in 1847. But it was the wedding of Victoria, Princess Royal, and Prince Frederick William of Prussia in 1858 that made the work world famous. American singer-songwriter guitarist Bo Diddley died on this day in 2008 at the age of 79. I'm CJ Papa, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A woman from England who has rescued thousands of animals from abuse or abandonment makes today's Dean's List. 90-year-old Barbie Keel has been running the Barbie Keel Animal Sanctuary in Sussex for 45 years. It began when a British Army soldier who was stationed in Ireland asked Barbie to watch his dog while he was gone. After that, there was another dog and then several cats she helped take care of, which began her incredible journey of looking after 10,000 animals since the 1970s. She says many of her animals are rehomed, but the majority stay on her 12-acre sanctuary for the rest of their lives. She says sometimes she's tired and it's definitely hard work, but she remembers why she does this and her animals will always come first. And despite her own health challenges, including battling cancer, she says she has no plans to retire or slow down. Barbie Keel, you are an angel. Janice Dean, Fox News.
Fox on Tech.
Hurricane season is here, and artificial intelligence wants to keep you safe. New AI products are taking their cracks at predicting tropical cyclones, and even the team of federal forecasters at the National Hurricane Center are interested in what it can do for them.
We're starting to evaluate some of the AI models that are being developed across many different participants in that space.
Center Director Michael Brennan speaking on the Fox News Rundown Evening Edition podcast.
We're starting to pull them in and evaluate them in our system this year, compare them to the traditional modeling we use and see how they might be used to supplement us as part of our tool set going forward.
And yes, storm data devised by AI could be used to calculate storm tracks, which in turn help determine where landfalls and storm surges will strike and where watches, warnings, and evacuations are needed. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Monday, June 2nd. The Department of Homeland Security has identified hundreds of cities and counties it says are not following the federal guidelines on immigration. In Georgia, the only cities listed were Atlanta and Athens. The DHS also listed the following counties: Athens, Clarke, DeKalb, Douglas, and Fulton. Mayor Andre Dickens refuted the allegation of Atlanta being a sanctuary city. The city of Mableton reached an agreement with Cobb County at an emergency meeting Friday night for police and transportation services. Mableton will pay Cobb $9.5 million for the unusual one-year deal. Cobb officials meet later today to discuss the agreement. And a DeKalb County fifth grader made it to the finals in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Sarv Dharavane was the first Georgia finalist in over 25 years and took home third place. Today's weather: sunny, warm, and dry with some hazy skies due to Canadian wildfires. Temperatures will reach the mid-80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
J.D. Hayworth joins us here on Extra 106.3 to talk about how Donald Trump is going to help your prescription drugs be lower. But I think everybody is on board for this. I just wonder if everybody believes it can happen. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for being here.
Man, it's like old home week.
I know.
Back to the southeast and being here on the Morning Xtra with Tug and Los, and you guys are educating me today. I know, for example, I cannot sell soap made of my bath water.
No, sir. No.
And what was that last hour? You going put me in the version of an audio headline.
The audio headline, JD, yes.
I can see it coming, and no, just for the record, I do not favor fatherhood on the franchise plan.
That's right.
Or
Los.
It's going to be you versus Dad Medina. Okay, I get it.
I don't want to have a throwdown in La Casa Medina, Los.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir, brother, but I thought that was an interesting way to put it. Man, and I hear you're the statistical guy, rather, but you got away with words too.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
This business.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. Well, fellas, simply stated, the one thing that Donald Trump, he's been called the disruptor in chief, but a lot of this really ain't disruption; it's common sense. For example, when I was back there on the Ways and Means Committee, and we'd have that vote, we ought to have most favored nation status with China, I'd go, wrong, because they're going to rob us blind and steal our manufacturing. So I voted against that stuff. But all folks really need to know, when the president rolled out his plan with his executive order, hey, here's an idea. Let's make the U.S. of A. the most favored nation. So all the other countries, our cousins up in Canada or across the Atlantic in those developed Western European quote-unquote democracies, they're paying less for prescription drugs. We'll just make sure that we even the playing field. And the reason why? Well, it's hitting every family, hitting everybody square in the pocketbook. When you take a look at, on average, this kind of downplays it, on average, Americans pay 3 times as much for prescription drugs as those folks in Canada or across the drink or down under, for crying out loud.
So what do you see as the correct step to getting this done? I mean, Donald Trump's using tariffs, obviously, to try to reindustrialize the United States, try to level the playing field. But when it comes to prescription drugs, how is that going to work? Because China, like you said, they've locked it down. They've taken everything. I mean, they steal everything that we have and everything that we do, and then they, use our buying power, our economy, to bolster their own country and to bolster the CCP. How do we wrestle that away? How do we get that back home? How do we get that the making of prescription drugs back to the United States? Because I don't trust those people to make quality prescription drugs to begin with. It scares me to think that they have that kind of control.
Well, that is an important step, and it's part and parcel of what you just outlined. But the real thing is that executive order the president issued last month, I guess it is now, or close to that, and it reaffirmed it 8 days ago in that Make America Healthy Again initiative with Secretary Kennedy. That goes a long way because an executive order can't do everything. Now, remember, we go back to civics. The president proposes, the Congress disposes. But what it does is it gives a guideline for Congress to come along and codify, put into law many of the things being suggested. And there are executive actions that can be taken. For example, same time last week or 8 days ago, we had the rollout of the MAHA agenda. The fact is that the Federal Trade Commission started looking at big pharma, and we call it that. It may be an understatement, but guess what? Big pharma is huge. It sets its prices. It does what it wants. When the calendar changed over from 2024 to 2025, there were over 800 prescriptions where the prices just went up. Didn't make any difference about the inflation rate. In fact, often the increases outpace the inflation rate. And then you hear talk about generic drugs. Well, the fact is, Big Pharma ties up easing patent restrictions and bringing generics to market more quickly with a curious set of legal tactics. So the Federal Trade Commission said, hey, we're going to take steps to stop that. So President Trump is leading and he's given the Congress a great blueprint. But the fact is the problems come from Big Pharma. And they're going to try to refocus the argument, of course, but that's where the scrutiny and the change has to start, gentlemen, right there. With the way in which Big Pharma has gone in to Washington, D.C., and as Secretary Kennedy pointed out the other day, he said there's a Big Pharma lobbyist. They could have them for an individual lobbyist for the 435 members of the House, the 100 members of the U.S. Senate, and every justice on the United States Supreme Court, all 9 of them. When you got that, when you got the money they've spent, and that was part of the Make America Healthy Again report, that billions with a B have been spent by Big Pharma over the last 20 years, and certainly they poured it on, according to a Wall Street Journal report, 31 million last year, another 13 million in the first quarter of 2025. And the American people want something entirely different from all of that, guys. You know, we talk so much about the polarization, and you offered a great riff before the break on how the Democrat Party wants to talk to men. Well, guess what? There is one issue where everybody agrees. This was a poll taken in that polarizing election year of 2024 by the Kaiser Family Foundation. It found 89% of Republicans, 84% of Democrats, and 78%, heck, almost 80% of independents say Big Pharma is focused more on profits than on helping people. And you got that kind of unity, if you will, unanimity. Well, small wonder then that President Trump says, as one of the British prime ministers did so long ago, I must follow the people. After all, am I not their leader? And the American people get it, and this executive order gets it, because we are taking it big time in the pocketbook right now.
Former U.S. Congressman J.D. Hayworth is our guest. You can always also look into the Pharmaceutical Reform Alliance, looking to really attack a lot of these prices that are coming from Big Pharma. And I'll tell you, J.D., I think a lot of this is messaging, because there's a lot of young people that have taken advantage of the GLP-1 medications. They're spending $1,000 to $1,200 a month on this. And when they find out that across Europe, a month's supply can run anywhere from $80 to $100, yet they're spending $1,000 on it. It's one thing when we talk about medications that our elderly are on, that our grandparents are on, people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. When we talk about other these medications that seem to be really reaching even into younger people, I think that's when it starts to hit them about how we're subsidizing healthcare around the world.
And when you take a look at that, it hits them in the pocketbook. But here's the other thing we have to understand. You're going to hear a lot of talk about research and development. Let me tell you, look, let me make it clear. Anybody who takes a capitalist like Donald Trump and thinks he opposes profits, no. But as he pointed out, there's a difference between profits and profiteering. You pointed out the price gap on what he called, and he called it what? The fat shot.
The fat shot, yes, it was awesome.
Yeah. Because that's what everybody calls it.
See, this is the genius of Trump, because you got to understand, we came along and we were told, and the gentleman from Georgia at the time, Newt, was the speaker, and we took the majority back when I was a much younger man, first one in my lifetime. But we sit down and look at the language. Trump doesn't do that. He speaks from the heart and the gut, and speaking of the gut, there's a fat shot. Anyway, the deal is, man, you take a look at what's going on with the dough. And again, I'm not opposed to advertising. Heck, I'm a broadcaster. But free speech ain't free when you and I are paying for it. Understand the profits that Big Pharma has hauled in. You and I on the other end, we're paying our hard-earned tax dollars in for, guess what? Research and development done by the federal government that redounds to the benefit of Big Pharma. Big Pharma has only spent about 17% of what it makes on research and development. Guys, on advertising and marketing directly to folks, $36 billion with a B. Look, free speech ain't free when you and I are paying for it by giving them a break with our tax dollars going to the research and development. Big Pharma claims it's most important thing. No, it's marketing, and we just need to pull back the curtain the way the president speaks candidly, and I think that's what we're in the process of doing at the Pharmaceutical Reform Alliance. And folks listening to us can find out more by going to pharmareformalliance.com. That's the website, pharmareformalliance.com.
And I want to reiterate that, because I think it's very important, because the argument from Big Pharma is always, if we have a reduction in the amount of money we're making, we will not be able to bring new drugs to market that'll help elongate your life. And the answer is always, we're already paying for that through research and development.
Through universities.
We are already doing that with our tax dollars. You're getting to pocket this. Let me ask you this, JD, as JD Hayworth is our guest, former U.S. Congressman. when it does come, I think we do run into, when we talk about taking big pharma and reducing maybe their footprint in advertising, I think at that point we're in for a big free speech debate and a big free speech fight. We've already seen that happen with big tobacco. I'm kind of curious, because tobacco could be vilified in the way that it was. Is there any way that you see that happening with big pharma?
Well, here's what I think can happen. And again, the remarkable thing. I know people look at Washington and they see two very different parties and philosophies, but understand this thing is so big, and the poll numbers I cited earlier, when you got over 80% of the American people saying, hey, we got to do something, Congress is going to do something. Now, understand on the Ways and Means Committee, it's not that you're going to sacrifice free speech, but the tax breaks commonly given for advertising, rather than, quote, silencing things, you just say, now, wait a minute. Don't know that we can extend the tax breaks given all the other breaks Big Pharma's gotten in terms of tax dollars for research and stuff. So there is a bipartisan bill. A physician from North Carolina, if memory serves, I believe it's Greg Murphy, a Republican from the eastern part of North Carolina, has introduced the legislation. He sits on the Ways and Means Committee that handles the tax code. It's bipartisan, and it says, wait a minute, you can't reap the tax benefits, and that's another way to deal with the advertising rather than a straight full-on First Amendment battle.
And I think the beauty in that is that you're laying it out so people understand this is not an attack on capitalism. We love capitalism. We're just trying to rein in this blob that has become Big Pharma that uses your money against you to make more money.
Well, I know Los is the numbers guy. And so that's why I've let some stuff go here. Understand Big Pharma's profits are twice the profit margin of the companies in the S&P 500.
Goodness.
And when I've told you how they're spending the dough.
Yeah.
Come in marketing rather than in research. And again, we're paying for it with the prescription drug purchases we make in addition to our tax dollars. So it begins and ends with Big Pharma. That's where the change has to come.
And this is supposed to be a soft target. You point out the numbers, independents, Democrats, Republicans, to find something that's 80% across the board.
Nearly impossible to find that.
Yeah, we called it in the business low-hanging fruit. Or as Ronald Reagan,
that's a technical term.
Said, he said, when you come to an 80% issue, go up and put your arm around it.
That's the wisdom of Reagan. I love
it. Yeah, absolutely, guys. So we'll take the best of Reagan and apply it to the here and now with Trump. And how about this? We don't look at this issue as Republicans or Democrats or independents or libertarians or as vegetarians. We're looking at this one as Americans.
I like it.
And that's a welcome step, long overdue.
Former Congressman J.D. Hayworth joining us on the Morning Extra. Thank you so much for your time. I hope it won't be the last time. It's been too long since we've spoken. It's been a couple years, so it's great to have you back on.
Well, out here in the Arizona desert, I got to wander in the wilderness, but it's always good to make it back to the Atlanta area with you boys via Radio Magic. So I do look forward to catching up again, and on the internet, pharmareformalliance.com.
Bam.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, JD. It's always good to hear from you. Tug and Los until 10. There's been apparently a disaster that's happened here in the office that we've learned about.
We're trying to get down to the bottom of this thing.
Yeah, there's a
and apparently not everyone is taking this as seriously as we are.
We're on the hunt.
So we've now woken up 2 members of management asking them about this said item in the office.
But called 3 all together and actually down the hall to our sister station, The Fan.
I did call HR. I have not heard back yet.
I was a witness.
Yeah. So what happened was the office cleaned out the refrigerator, and not everybody got the 2,000 emails that came alerting them about it.
2 weeks worth. Some people were very upset about what they lost in the purge.
And so we're going to do our best to be team players and get that person made whole.
If you promise
whole milk
that you can get a whole milk in a mason jar here in the next hour, you got to call up and let us know. those tickets might be for
those
you.
Metallica tickets.
Metallica.
Oh my gosh, that's a good idea. Are you sure you want whole milk though?
I was told whole milk.
Let's hold on to that. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break because I'm not convinced that whole milk's the way to go here. I'm no scientist. I'm just trying to make sure we're getting the right thing.
There were multiple emails. We can dig back and find
narrow
this.
it down. Okay, good news. Cory Booker did exactly what Elon Musk did, but it was called something different when he did it by the mainstream media. You'll get a chuckle out of this and a huge eye roll next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, June 2nd. No milk for the Braves. They are off today after dropping 2 of 3 to the Boston Red Sox at home over the weekend. Up next, the Arizona Diamondbacks will be in town to open up a 3-game series beginning tomorrow night over at Truist Park. From the road to Omaha, Tug, the top 2 seeds are out as Vanderbilt and Texas did not survive the regional round. The last time this occurred with the top 2 seeds was 2014. Georgia Tech, they were out. They were eliminated by Ole Miss. Georgia, the same for them as they were eliminated by Oklahoma State. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Mark your calendars because summer is here and it's time to slide into summer at Truist Park as the Arizona Diamondbacks come to town June 3rd through the 5th. Fans can enjoy back-to-back giveaways June 4th and 5th featuring the Truist Park Stadium replica and the Beach Tote Bag presented by Visit Sarasota. Also on June 5th, the first 1,000 kids can join a pregame parade around the warning track and get a high five from Braves players.
Baldwin cranks one, flying back and way gone.
And May and the A deals were so great, we extended them through the Diamondback series. That means $10 tickets and parking, $1.99 hot dogs, and $3.99 Miller High Life. Plus, don't forget to stop by the Braves Clubhouse store for 50% off City Connect hats and City Connect logo t-shirts. You can't beat great baseball and deals like this. Head to Braves.com/summer to get your tickets today and check out all of the summer fun. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, it's Mike from Atlanta Painting Company. Summer is here, and you want to save money for a vacation. So, right now, save 10% on any painting job Atlanta Painting Company does for you this summer. Atlanta Painting Company is still Atlanta's biggest family-owned and run painting company, and we are passionate about making your family's home look great. So get in touch. Head to AtlantaPaintingCompany.com to save 10% on any paint job this summer. Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
There are nut jobs on the road. Who knows where they learn to drive? If one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant, 855-GA-INJURY. Van Sant Law, one of Georgia's top-rated personal injury lawyers and car accident firms. Time is of the essence. Don't waste any. The longer you wait to get the right lawyer, the longer it takes to get the compensation you deserve. Call Van Sant Law today. The number is 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
This is House Call for Health. June is Men's Health Month. The Indiana Clinical and Translational Sciences Institute says men are less likely than women to get medical help. Around 60% get routine checkups, waiting for symptoms to become bad before seeking help. And because of that, many men go undiagnosed with conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and mental health disorders. The Institute identifying several critical key health issues men face. First is heart disease, the leading cause of death for men across all demographics. Regular screenings for blood pressure and cholesterol are recommended. Then there's prostate cancer. It's the second most common cancer among men. Mental health. Many men are affected, but seeking treatment isn't a regular action, and suicide remains a leading cause of death for younger men. The Institute says you can participate in Men's Health Month by scheduling regular checkups, promoting healthy lifestyles, raising awareness, and supporting mental health initiatives. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
The only thing better than covering all these Trump wins is watching the left implode over it.
Donald Trump, he's entertaining the world while he's changing the whole freaking planet.
Xtra 106.3 is committed to bring you the news you care about most. From Atlanta legends and conservative voices you've relied on for a generation. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Xtra 106.3 FM and the Xtra app.
Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
It's Khalees, everybody.
It's better than yours.
Milkshake. It's Milkshake Metallica Mandatory Monday.
We're going to trade you milk for Metallica.
If you can get us, what is it, whole milk?
A mason jar of whole milk?
Mason jar of whole milk is what we're after.
Or just a gallon of whole milk with a mason jar empty.
Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to be chilled, but it has to be ready.
Yeah. So if you're in for Metallica tickets, otherwise it's going to be like caller 5. I mean, how much fun is that? That's not any fun.
No, it's so fun.
Bringing a gallon of milk over here for a
404-741-1230. Tell us you're going to bring a gallon of milk with a mason jar, and those tickets are yours.
YORS.
Now, officially, we'll make them available in the 7 o'clock hour.
Yes, but if you get to them first,
they might be reserved for you.
They will be. We won't even do the contest in the 7 if you bring over the gallon of milk in a mason jar.
Milk for Metallica.
That's a contest that's what we've been waiting on, and it just developed on its own.
This is organic live radio.
Organic milk is exactly what we're looking for.
Yes, it needs to be organic. There's specifications on this milk.
If you're missing out on what has occurred, if you're just now joining us by the channel, first off, shame on you.
Yes, I don't know how.
Second off, remember 6:03 is your appointment time. You are late.
Yeah, that's the first and foremost. So we had this email for about 2 weeks every day. It was an email saying, "Hey, clean out the fridge in the bullpen. That's kind of the hangout area where people eat and things. There's some computers back there. People do some work on, show prep and that sort of stuff.
There's stuff in there from 2022.
Yes, and it's gross. It smells bad.
We got to get rid of it.
It smells bad. And so every day the email went out, and one of our coworkers never opened that email, and his milk got thrown away. And then he tackled a garbage can because of it."
I'm telling you, I saw this garbage can. This thing had more air than Michael Jordan. It was up there.
From what I understand, he launched into the garbage can. Like, I gave it a good fist.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, ha-ha!
Stupid can.
Pretty much, it was karate, which means open hand.
That's
and I
right.
know that. That's what he did to the garbage can. And so we're trying, as good teammates,
to recover.
To give him back his milk.
Los has been on the phones like a manager of a campaign.
I've
trying to get
called
the message out.
the operations manager of this company. I don't think he appreciated it.
Mm-mm.
I called the general sales manager.
That's right.
I think he was a little bit dumbfounded by it.
Because he was trying to help, or at least trying to figure out how he could help.
I called HR.
Mm-hmm.
She did not respond yet.
I don't expect you'll get a response.
And I'm going to call the sales head of Braves Radio Network to ask him if we could possibly find some milk.
I want to do that one on the air because I want to see if he'll assist. Because I feel like we assist him all the time, talking about how big and wonderful, broad and robust the Braves Radio Network is. That's what I feel like that the least he could do is help us with this milk, getting this milk returned.
I mean, I've got the number right up in front of us. I'll just send it quietly over to our text, and if we want to call him live on the air to see if he's sitting at his desk. He can't possibly.
He can't, and then we'll see him if he sends us the voicemail.
Right, we'll know that that's what he's done, and we will ask him if there's any way if he could assist us with our milk scenario.
Yeah, that's right. So while we do that,
there you go. I just sent it over.
I see it.
We'll keep that under wraps because I'd hate for y'all all to call Ed Kennedy asking for affiliate relations partnerships with the Atlanta Braves,
right.
Or milk,
or a chilled milk, whole milk. Which
what a Monday! Huh?
Yeah, this is the way to start, dude. This out of the gate. We're saving. The cohesion of Dickey Broadcasting.
We are team players.
That's right.
Extra 106.3.
We're givers.
We're doing more than most.
They think we're down here with hate speech,
right,
and
disinformation,
radical. right wingers.
I think they now call us malinformation, that it's correct. It's just detrimental to the plans of the state.
That's right. Yeah, so malinformation.
Right.
Make sure you don't mix
Not
that up
lying
with
to
mis
you.
or dis. Mal is what we're focused on down here. That's what we try to share with everybody every day.
Some might call it the mother's milk of information.
If they were smart, they would call them that. Do we want to try it just to see if...
Yeah.
Or is this a bad idea?
No.
I can give it a whirl.
Dial him up. Let's dial him up on the air. Let's see what we got here. I mean,
give me a second here.
If he answers, we'll see. I mean, I'm looking over at his desk. I mean, he's one of those guys. You know when you have two computer screens?
Yeah, that's when you're serious.
You're serious as far as your work, and he has two.
Oh my.
So he has
both being utilized.
Well, I mean, he's got the primary email on the left side, and then the secondary email on the right side. So he's serious about what he's doing.
That's too much email. That's what that is.
Well, I mean, I just have one
ringing.
screen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're ringing.
Here we go. Pull it on up. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not on the air though.
No, I can't hear him.
Yeah.
Put him on up. Hey, Ed.
Yes.
We want to know if you'd heard about Milkgate.
Do you know anything about Milkgate? Trying to track down some milk?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Well, so what happened?
Yeah, Tug will tell you.
There was some milk that was in the refrigerator that was thrown away accidentally, inadvertently, and we're trying to recover it. Did you see the email?
No, I haven't seen it. Oh, you mean the one?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, I did see that one. Yeah.
He did.
So we have Metallica tickets to give away, and we're offering them in exchange for milk so that we can come across as team players rather than our reputation of being, distributors of malinformation or hate speech and stuff like that.
So it's Milky Metallica Monday.
So if you happen to know where to get a mason jar of milk, because you are a man of resources, let us know.
Okay, we could probably go up and get some across the street after the store opens.
This is a great idea.
That's why Ed gets it done.
Already he knows where to go. Thank you, Ed.
And see if they want to advertise while you're there.
Absolutely. Tell them about the Atlanta Braves Radio Network and the broad resources of Dickey Broadcasting Company.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, buddy.
Now, you need to know, was it a special kind of milk?
We hear it's whole milk.
Okay.
Not a lot of people drink it whole anymore either. So.
Although they should.
They should.
Actually, I love whole milk.
See, there we go. There we go. Edward, thank you, sir.
Yeah, all right.
Thank
Have a
you.
good morning, gentlemen.
He answered the phone.
He did answer the phone. I was
kind
of shocked.
He didn't get to where he is today by letting things go to voicemail.
That phone does not ring.
No, that's exactly. You don't have the biggest radio network in all of professional sports by sitting on your hands.
That's right. That man ends up handling 160 some different clients.
Yeah.
On the Braves Radio Network.
And that's just that.
And he's the only person consistently in the building with us in the 6 a.m. hour.
That's exactly right. He is always here.
That's why if somebody's going to get this milk thing done.
It's Milky Metallica Monday. And if you want Metallica tickets, bring us a whole milk with a mason jar, and they are yours.
You don't have to put the milk in the mason jar. I want to put that. And if there's something else in that mason jar that happens to be, clear and might taste like apple pie, let's say.
That's right. I've been there before. Yeah, it's good
Make
stuff.
it go blind.
Yeah.
But in the interest of who it's going to, it probably should be empty because, he does have stomach issues.
We can empty it out.
Oh, yeah. We'll empty it and then rinse it out and put it right back in that refrigerator.
We'll take care of it for you.
That's exactly what we do for
What
our
a 6 a.m. hour, huh?
Dude, it was off the rails on the crazy chain. We talked to J.D. Hayward. It was great. It was terrific. And look, Cory Booker did here's the thing that we're going to talk about before things got sideways. Cory Booker making the Nazi salute and MSNBC saying, no, he didn't do that.
Waving to the crowd in the exact same way that Elon Musk did.
And then they came down on Musk and said he was doing the Nazi salute. And then Cory Booker, the Democrat, does the exact same thing. And they're like, no, he didn't do it with the force that Elon did. That's why it's different. I swear, that's exactly what they said.
I just retweeted a side-by-side video that Elon had put back out. It's the exact same thing.
It's exactly right. But no, they said no. It was the force that Elon used was the differentiator there. That was the difference. So that's your mainstream media.
That was the differentiator. He looked too excited when he delivered it.
That's right. Just if you got nothing else, I guess that's what you go with.
Oh, no. Now we have a member of the fan down the hall.
Oh, my. Oh, Matt Lear.
Hey, Matt Lear.
What's up, buddy? I didn't know if you were in break or not. I want to show Lowe's something. I'll come back.
Okay, no. Come on in.
We're
Come
close.
on in. We're trying to get milk.
I got to go down the hall.
He's got a thing. Down the hall. Down the hall.
It's It's a crazy, wacky Monday. Milky Metallica Monday, even.
I thought he was coming in to tell us success.
That we'd gotten the milk.
We got the milk in.
404-741-1230 if you want to deliver the milk to the radio station for our coworker who had his thrown away out of the refrigerator after 2 weeks worth of emails saying they were going to throw everything in the refrigerator
it's
away.
All going to be gone. What do you mean it's gone?
That's my milk.
It's my milk. Somebody owes me milk.
Have you ever seen anything like this? Because I must admit I've not. This is it's a first for me. Joy Behar says there is a better way to spend that $20 million the DNC is spending than recruiting men to the party. She's got a great plan, don't you know? I mean, the name Joy Behar says it all, that she's got a great plan. We'll share it with you next 6 o'clock hour. Brought to you by the craziness of it. Brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett.
Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck at noon, and the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. And hang out every night for Jesse Kelly at 6 and Jimmy Fela at 9. And stream it all live in crystal clear HD on the Extra 106.3 app.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
Life hack. Turn any sofa into a sofa bed by telling your wife to calm down.
Yeah, turn any sofa into a sofa bed.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
He set people on fire. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
There was a woman that was burning on the ground. And then we noticed 2 other people that had also been affected by the burns on their legs.
He saw what the FBI is investigating as a terror attack in Boulder, Colorado.
Mohammed Solomon allegedly deciding to rain terror yesterday in Boulder, Colorado, setting fire to pro-Israel demonstrators who were out simply peacefully rallying in support of the hostages still being held in Gaza. The 45-year-old suspect could be heard yelling, "Free Palestine," while using Molotov cocktails and a makeshift flamethrower to carry out his attack, which sent 8 people to the hospital.
Fox's Todd Pyro.
Fox News has confirmed the suspect is an illegal immigrant from Egypt who had overstayed his visa after entering the U.S. during the Biden administration.
Solomon's facing numerous charges, weapons, assault, and murder, though we've not been told anyone died. More deaths in Gaza, Palestinian officials blaming on Israeli forces firing toward a crowd near a food distribution site, leaving 31 people dead.
An Israeli military official insists that while troops fired warning shots over the heads of suspected attackers, it was other masked men who shot at civilians. They accuse Hamas of trying to prevent the successful distribution of food. Media organizations are unable to verify any of these claims because independent journalists don't have access to the aid sites.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. There are new Russia-Ukraine ceasefire talks going on today in Turkey. The Senate returns this week to consider President Trump's big, beautiful bill to fund his agenda and extend the 2017 tax cuts, but some of his fellow Republicans Republicans are opposed. Fox's Gernal Scott details one of them.
Wisconsin GOP Senator Ron Johnson says there are problems he has with the House bill. He thinks it will add to the federal debt and that it doesn't go far enough to cut spending. That's why on Fox's Sunday Morning Futures, he said,
"You have to take the time and do it. Don't show us how to do it. Contract by contract, line by line."
America's listening to Fox News.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Wake up with the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 Atlanta.
It is a wacky, milky Metallica Monday.
We have an update
on the Morning Extra. Yes, we do. Would you like to deliver it?
It turns out that the milk that we are requiring in trade for Metallica tickets has to be lactose-free.
Here's how we know this. We went back and looked at the emails. The one that originally came out saying we're going to clean out the refrigerator in the bullpen here at Dickey Broadcasting Company. There's probably 2 weeks worth of emails, but that we did because we read the emails. We knew that was coming, and we now know that the milk has to be lactose-free because of reading the emails.
Yes, the on-air co-host, the on-air friend that we have down the hall who had his lactose-free milk thrown away caused a giant eruption. From what I understand, it was like a tirade similar to a clubhouse one where you see, throwing of trash cans. And
after a bad outing.
It's like he gave up 5 runs in the first.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we're
that
trying.
Gatorade cooler just went flying.
That's right. So we're trying to get him a mason jar and a quart. Doesn't even have to be a gallon. A quart of lactose-free milk.
We want it to be in a jar so it's nice and cooled.
Yes. If possible.
That's the most tasty because warm milk, nobody wants that.
Because the only other option is we make you guess a number between 1 and 100, whatever Jack is thinking. And that's how we give you the Metallica tickets that we're giving away today. And I think the milk seems to do more good for everyone.
That's right. And that's what we want to do here at Extra 106.3 is do good for our community and our nation.
I mean, we have senators saying dumb things.
Like we're all going to die, which is correct.
We have a terrorist attack in Boulder.
Yes,
we've got Senator Booker throwing out, the Nazi salutes and all sorts of stuff. And so we're trying to bring a little bit of a ray of sunshine to you. In an area that's been, what have been raining for the better part of a week?
Yeah. Well, finally yesterday. Yesterday, it kind of the rain burnt off late in the afternoon. And this week is supposed to be really nice. So that's wonderful. You bring in the milk, you get the Metallica tickets, you enjoy a nice week.
Yeah, it was nice weather over the weekend, but it was kind of hazy. It's because the Snow Mexicans sent their
that's right,
their wildfire smoke down.
They're low down.
Some might say it looked a little milky out there. So we're trying to, just play into this.
We're doing better.
That's right. And Tug might just at any point fall out.
I may need a glass of milk.
This is the other issue with the Snow Mexicans. They brought all of that smoke, and now Tug is struggling with it.
Yes, I am, but I'm back.
Rough.
I'm back.
Rough.
I got this 0FG to.
Now he's good then.
Yeah, I was gonna.
He just takes a sip, and now everything's fine.
It's all good. Now back to good. So you can either bring milk or guess one between 1 and 100 with Simple Jack, and then we'll see. We'll give away those Metallica tickets this hour, though. Probably last segment of the show. Hour.
Last segment of this hour. Just know that if you have to guess between 1 and 100, the answer might not be a number.
It could be foot.
That's right. He might. If you guess tire, you might win.
That's right, Simple Jack. He's working hard. He's diligent back there, making notes.
He's got a mallet. And he's chasing around butterflies in the battery.
Right. and in the studio.
That's right.
I was afraid he's going to knock Jeray's microphone off.
Part of me does wish that we could send him out into the battery. I mean, we're here in the morning. Nobody's out there right now, but like Wiley, go get some numbers.
No, yeah, absolutely. Does Simple Jack have a girlfriend? No, he's shaking his head. No, okay. Well, maybe.
Listen, Wiley Ballard. That's a one person that could pull that off.
Yeah,
that we
nicest
again,
delivery.
Nice guy. You have to have a microphone. It always helps that there's a camera on you. And notice how that went away
quickly
after the crazy ladies got all worked up about like, if I did that, well, you can't.
Because it's so ridiculous.
So you're not Wiley.
All of it was silly. Any of the dust up was silly, completely silly. And Wiley A+, it's still going strong, and nobody's paying attention to those fools anymore. All right. If you want Metallica tickets, 404-741-1230 when we get to that point. Either bring milk or we'll guess between 1 and 100. I mean, it's just, we got a couple ways you can win this morning.
Jack, write a number down, 1 to 100.
And it might not be a number, though.
Beaver.
Red. Joy Behar, I want you to hear from her. She is the fearless leader. I think that's the way you would describe her on The View.
The Frau. The leader of the Frau lines that we have in the morning.
She's unbelievable. And she says winning back men for the Democrats, what a waste of money. What a waste of time. You know, there is a way that you could use that $20 million that they're trying to convince men to come and vote for the Democrat Party is. Listen to what her idea might be.
To the folks, you want to know what I think? I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the stats don't bear that out now.
Thank you.
And this is why she is mentally incapable, as they all are, of winning back men. Like, it was the perfect example over the weekend. Because my point has always been, stop whining at us and stop taking your frustrations out by then criticizing. Now, if you want to reach men, which is the biggest problem the Democrat Party has, actually a lot of problems, but that's probably the one that is the biggest hurdle. How do you get men to listen to the messaging again, to take part in the process? You can't whine at them. And what does she do? Whines and makes them the problem. Like, you can't get past it.
No.
You're mentally incapable of doing it.
And if you recall, when they decided they were going to launch SAM, Speaking to American Men, this program that the New York Times had reported about, I said you can't just disguise the language, which was part of the plan. We're not going to tell you, and we're not going to use woke language. We're going to try to figure out a normal way to say the things that we want to say, but we're not changing our ideals. Yes, we want boys to be playing in girls' sports. Yes, we want illegals to vote. We want all those things, all the woke crap. We still want it.
We're not changing the foundational elements that make us where men do not want to even be seen as being a Democrat voter.
Refuse to do that, but we're going to disguise the language because we think you're dumb enough that if you hear our new normal language, you'll fall right into the trap.
But I wonder what Joy Behar, if she got the memo and she was like, okay, y'all have got to outreach to men. Now, you got to be less political and more outreach toward men. I don't know what she would say without it coming across as wildly fake and weird. Hey, did anyone catch the Mets and Yankees play over the weekend? Hey,
well,
guys.
Joy, it wasn't Mets and Yankees. It was actually Mets and Dodgers. You probably should keep up.
There's
you know what I
going to
mean?
be something
she would never
strange
know
about it.
She would never know.
Hey, did anyone go get their prostate exam? Make sure you stay on top of that.
Is she married? There's not a chance she's married. Is there? Is she married? Because
you have a computer with a Google machine in front of it.
Can you imagine, though, if you were married to her, being married to her? Can you imagine the Charlie Brown teacher nature of everything that goes on in your house where it's just like, wah, 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 wah.
I have a very simple view of things in my home. I want to be there for my wife and kids. At the same time, I would like to be left alone. So if my wife has like a list of like honeydews, I'm like, let me know. Let's go have a nice dinner. Let's grab some lunch. But if it's something that has to do with drama, I don't care if it has to do with the neighbor or work unless it's like really big drama, I want to be left out of it.
Yeah, no, that's right. Steve
Janowitz. He is a middle school math teacher.
She just beats that man up daily.
Yeah, you're right.
There's not a chance.
Be beaten.
That dude It's funny because my father-in-law, who's the great guy, love him to death, always had such a great relationship, always will have a great relationship. He grew up in a house.
Oh, that's exactly the kind of guy I thought he looked like.
Yeah, exactly. There's no, when you look it up, you're like, oh, that guy.
Looks like a penis with a gray mustache.
So that's correct.
Just caught me off guard.
Am I wrong? He's got
No.
a giant toothbrush mustache.
Yeah, that's right.
On a wiener.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. It's Monday, y'all. It's Milky Metallica Monday. Don't forget that. End of the hour.
Interesting note, her first husband, Joseph
Killed himself.
Behar.
That's right.
Well,
Jumped off what bridge?
Not quite, but he was a television director. Funny how that works.
Yeah. He got her the gig and then she killed him. I don't know that for sure, but something tells me.
Allegedly, as long as you say that,
allegedly.
we're good.
Yeah,
I'm sure
that's
he's
speculating.
fine.
I don't know. No, he died.
He's
in
passed.
81, in 1981 or something.
No, she divorced him in 81. He passed in 2021. He was 95
a happy man.
years old.
To get away from that.
Car accident?
Probably riding a Harley if he was 95.
Yeah, something like that. Dude, so being married to her would be awful because she's going home taking her
angst,
anger out on Steven Janowitz, the toothbrush mustache guy. And she's just beating him down, calling him sexist, and telling him how awful he is. And
well, we have the person who was going to be the influencer, the rather large lady.
Oh, Olivia Juliana.
Oh, okay. Duffy.
So she had the scenario
yes.
of reaching out to a number of different colleges, trying to get I'm trying to get on campus. I'm trying
Charlie Kirk style.
And she's been rejected across the board. It was
Can't
Texas and
imagine why.
Texas A&M were the ones that publicly
acknowledged that it happened.
That they politely declined. Like they didn't want her there.
Because what good
What
is
fraternity is she going to go hang out at?
I mean, what good is her presence going to do exactly? Or is she just going to cause a stir that is going to be problematic for the university that they have to,
if she showed
protect her
up
or whatever.
with, let's say, 5 or 6 very attractive college girls, they would let her in, and nobody would listen.
But the thing is, if she had 5 or 6 really attractive friends, the frat houses would be reaching out to her.
All right, so
she wouldn't have to reach out to a university.
So she has a post. This from May 30th, so just over the weekend. All right, remember, what has been the entire point of this topic? That the left, the communists, the liberals cannot reach men.
They can't communicate.
Without doing their attack mode. They just, it's incapable.
A la Joy Behar.
Cannot handle it, will not be able to do it. Olivia Juliana, post from May 30th, has an article, and it says, I wish MAGA cared more about young men's mental health than they do about my pant size.
What?
It's still about our problem.
That's right. It's us.
Right?
Yes.
Not you.
Well, but Joy Behar said the same thing.
It's not.
Teach them not to be sexist. Use the $20 million not to talk to them, but teach them not to be sexist.
If you gave me $20 million, I'd have a really hard time not being sexist. Like, I could be inspired to go, maybe women can do everything men can. I know physically that's not possible. At the same time, as I was talking about on Friday, I recognize that the thing that women can do that's a miracle of nature is childbirth.
Well,
something that men will never be able to do. We're different, and that's fine.
Well, now you're transphobic.
And recognizing that we're different does not make me sexist. In their world, it does.
No, I know.
So,
Exactly
yes,
right.
I'll try and not be sexist, but I acknowledge we are different.
But see, there's where you've gone wrong. That's where you messed up.
That's where I messed up.
That's where you're never going to be good enough. It doesn't matter how many million they spend on you because they despise everything. They despise masculinity because it's toxic. They despise. Remember I told you the story about opening the door for the lady. She was like, I don't need you to do that. And I was like, right, I know you didn't need me to do it. The point is, it's nice to have the door open for you occasionally.
I understand
Just like,
you have 2 arms and 2 hands.
It's amazing that
I
you
just
can do
figured
that.
I would help you out.
Yeah, she stopped me just to tell me that. I'll never forget it. And I said to her, I was like, isn't it just nice to have somebody hold the door? Because I'm a dude and somebody holds the door. I'm like, thanks, man. Much appreciated. That's awesome. I appreciate you took the time just to hold the door. Friday, it's me and Mike Key were walking out of the building. And Ice Cold Stu is an engineer for Georgia Tech Radio. Everything you hear on the air for Georgia Tech, Ice Cold Stu's making it happen. He's coming in. He's got this just wagon full of stuff. And he's got just carrying all kinds of things. You can just tell there's no way he's going to open the door. Mike Key and I approached the door right there about the same time. And he was like, oh, my God, thank you. Thank you for just holding the door. It was going to be problematic. And we went back and hit the elevator button. We did just to say, hey, dude, got your back. They hate that. Joy Behar hates that.
It's people like Joy Behar and then Olivia Giuliana is why we have incels in this country. There are young men who have just decided,
I'm out.
It might be better just to have Call of Duty. And I'm not going to hate on that because you know what? Last night was a big night in Call of Duty night in the basement over at Wayne's World. Had a good run.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. But I get it. There are young men that just decide, I'm not putting up with this, especially when you know she's going to ruin your life. Okay? Like, you're fortunate in that your son has found a girl that, you know what? Turns out she's pretty competitive. She's
soccer player.
She's into the whole idea of accomplishment.
Dude, she wants to win. That's
Right.
like when she gets on the soccer field, she's going to kick somebody's ass.
Yes.
She's going to make sure they know she's there. And then when she's done, she likes to go to dinner. They went fishing this weekend.
Now, how about if she had stood on the sideline of the soccer field and just went, acknowledge me.
That's right.
I need you to acknowledge me.
Yes.
I need you to pay attention. Acknowledge me.
I've painted my hair purple, don't you notice?
And this is why some young men say, I'm not going to deal with this. Not worth it.
And the thing will be the same with your daughters, because as competitive as they are,
yeah,
they're not out there saying, hey, you must look at me. They're out there proving themselves.
Have to.
Because that's the
mentality
way of the
in our
world.
house. That's the way it's gonna be.
That's the world structure is built on that. Go out and do it on your own. Don't wait around for somebody to hold it for you, to set it up for you, to tell you how to do it. Those people, the whole acknowledge me crowd, dude, I have less than zero use for them.
Telling you. There are those.
I would turn into a Call of Duty guy. I never played it in my life.
Some of these women I know, some of them I grew up with, I will see what they post and at times think to myself, no wonder why the dudes run. You know? Sometimes it's just easier. I mean, for as much as some of them try to point it out, like, you know, again, Olivia Giuliana will talk about, you know, we've got a crisis of mental health with men in this country. Do we? I think the crisis is that they don't agree with you.
That's right. And that's you. That's you.
Why don't you like
up
me?
an issue.
Why don't you think I'm beautiful? Why don't you listen to me? Why don't you vote the way I tell you to? It's because none of us want to be beaten down by that crap.
Like poor Joy Behar's husband. What's his name? Steve Janowitz?
Janowitz.
That dude is beaten down.
Middle school teacher.
Middle school math teacher. So he takes abuse from the kids every day.
Getting it all
Dude,
from all
because
sides.
kids these days, kids ain't paying no attention to anybody because parents ain't raising them because they're too busy focused on themselves. Unbelievable. This poor man's beaten up and then comes home and his wife just body slams him as soon as he walks in the door. Get on the ground!
You won't believe what Whoopi said today.
Or didn't say. She didn't back me up. She disagreed
What is it
with
that
me.
Whoopi didn't say?
Yeah, that's right. Shut your mouth! Just slapping him. That's awful. This is Milky Metallica Monday. If you want to bring by lactose-free milk in a chilled mason jar, you'll win Metallica tickets. Or we're going to do a number between 1 and 100 with Simple Jack. That is coming up. We'll do that in the final segment of this hour on Extra 106.3. Scott Besson torches the Face the Nation host Margaret Brandon over inflation. It is so enjoyable to watch. Next on Extra 106.3.
America drives the world economy. And with ongoing global trade deals, tariffs doing their job, and inflation dropping, we force the world to step up. So don't let the mainstream media spin it to you any differently. Get the news that matters to you from Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Atlanta, good morning. Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's. Let's talk about True Prep, Atlanta's preparedness superstore. Now, that's one of the cool things. When you start looking into being prepared for whatever may happen. Since I started talking about True Prep, okay, so we've had some crazy weather. We had an earthquake. All right, there's been weird stuff that goes on, so you never know. You want to be prepared. Isn't it great to know that just off of Cobb Parkway in Marietta is one of the best stores in the country for preparedness? And also, they have hot deals on a regular basis that's going to save you a ton of money. First off, you can go visit TruePrep, trueprep.com. That's truprep.com. They have a new deals page where you can discover hot sales and clearance items on firearms, on prepping gear, and a lot more over there. All you got to do is just go over and check it out. They also have a used and consignment page for top quality guns and gear at unbeatable prices. Both pages do update throughout the day, so you can always check them out. Just see what's new, see what has been added. Again, just go check it out over there at trueprep.com. That's truprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with TruePrep.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A woman from England who has rescued thousands of animals from abuse or abandonment makes today's Dean's List. 90-year-old Barbie Keel has been running the Barbie Keel Animal Sanctuary in Sussex for 45 years. It began when a British Army soldier who was stationed in Ireland asked Barbie to watch his dog while he was gone. After that, there was another dog and then several cats she helped take care of, which began her incredible journey of looking after 10,000 animals since the 1970s. She says many of her animals are rehomed, but the majority stay on her 12-acre sanctuary for the rest of their lives. She says sometimes she's tired and it's definitely hard work, but she remembers why she does this and her animals will always come first. And despite her own health challenges, including battling cancer, she says she has no plans to retire or slow down. Barbie Keel, you are an angel. Janice Dean, Fox News.
I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute. San Francisco police making the biggest single cold case break in department history, charging a community activist in 4 separate murders spanning 2 decades. 44-year-old Shantech Harris is charged with 4 counts of murder and other charges. Harris, along with 48-year-old Sean Britton, are accused of killing Perry Bradstreet on January 18, 2002. Police say Bradstreet was robbed, carjacked, and shot as he ran away. The suspects are accused of then setting his car on fire. Then, a month later, police say Harris killed a man named Lorenzo Richards. And in July of 2002, police say he killed witness Gerald White to prevent his testimony in the Bradstreet murder case. The 4th charge stems from the August 10, 2019 shooting of Dietrich Whitley at a community center block party. The case was dropped on self-defense grounds only to be refiled now. It's not clear what new evidence prosecutors dug up to bring charges in the cold cases. There's more on the story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Monday, June 2nd. The Department of Homeland Security has identified hundreds of cities and counties it says are not following the federal guidelines on immigration. In Georgia, the only cities listed were Atlanta and Athens. The DHS also listed the following counties: Athens, Clarke, DeKalb, Douglas, and Fulton. Mayor Andre Dickens refuted the allegation of Atlanta being a sanctuary city. The city of Mableton reached an agreement with Cobb County at an emergency meeting Friday night for police and transportation services. Mableton will pay Cobb $9.5 million for the unusual one-year deal. Cobb officials meet later today to discuss the agreement. And a DeKalb County 5th grader made it to the finals in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Sarv Dharavane was the first Georgia finalist in over 25 years and took home 3rd place. Today's weather, sunny, warm, and dry with some hazy skies due to Canadian wildfires. Temperatures will reach the mid-80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
7 o'clock hour is brought to you by Van Sant Law Group. If you're in an accident, make the right call. VanSantLaw.com.
Maybe you had some bad milk, so you got to call Van Sant Law.
That's right. They can protect you. They can get you what you're due, get you what you're owed.
Somebody got you sick?
That's right.
Hey, reach out. Get what's coming your way.
That's an accident right there waiting to happen.
If somebody was to slide some milk to me, it's going to make me sick because I'm very lactose intolerant.
That's right. It'll be awful.
Right. I would not be able to finish the show. No doubt about it. I'd be sick the rest of the day.
See, and that's why we're not have that. And that's why Van Sant Law is on our side.
That's why we have 0 FGs.
That's exactly right.
Because of the lactose intolerance that goes on in this studio.
Dude, so good. I do love a 0 FG. I'm so glad they're back. I'm so glad 0 FG's back. It is the greatest. It's
the wind beneath my wings.
Yes, that's right. It's exactly right. That's exactly what
I was having to sleep more.
This rival energy drink company that says they give you wings. No. You need 0 FG.
They have
because when they were gone, I was like getting in bed at 8 o'clock, knowing that there wasn't any 0 FG in the building.
Now it's like 2:30 in the morning.
Now I think I went to bed last night probably about 11:30. And it was because I discovered on History Channel there is a group. It was some show about trying to find old Nazi U-boats in the Caribbean.
All right.
And it sucked me in like 4 or 5 episodes.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. They're trying to find sunken treasure in the Caribbean, trying to find old U-boats.
I'm so fascinated by the Caribbean and all the things that have taken place there. From pirates to U-boats to, just the Caribbean's.
Bermuda Triangle's down there.
Which we went through when I was in the Navy. We went through the Bermuda Triangle about 3 or 4 times.
Did it change you?
Never once. I always hoped.
Like,
fingers crossed.
Do you feel like maybe there's something to it as far as nothing mysterious, but I do think that there might be
the way the gravitational pull works or something.
Yes, different there.
Yes, I think that
people's instruments tend to fail because of maybe some sort of weird magnetism or something.
It is a triangle. So is a pyramid. There's something here.
There. You're drawing the conclusion. I like that.
Hold on. Give me back my tinfoil hat.
Yes.
He took it away.
Come back to this in the 9 o'clock hour.
That's right. You can never tell what we're talking about there. But no, I do think there must be something, and I don't know where it is because, like I said, we went through 3 or 4 times on USS South Carolina.
Like when Tesla discovered free energy?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
Very similar to that.
All right. And the pyramids were built for such things, right?
Yes. Possibly. Look, I don't know.
I'll subscribe to all things.
I've got nothing that tells me otherwise. Because nobody can tell me how they were built. Nobody can tell me where.
How did you transport over this many miles, this size of rock
with no technology?
It was a national pride thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it. The guy that was on Joe Rogan. So he had one of they call them gatekeepers, right?
Okay.
So you have archaeologists that they're the gatekeepers. Then you have other people that are getting in the archaeology field, and what happens is when you bring up new theories, the gatekeepers shut you down as quickly as possible. So when Joe Rogan's asking, well, how did they get this rock from here to here? The guy who does all the archaeological work there is like, well, it was a national project.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
It was the pride of Egypt.
Okay.
Okay, that still doesn't explain.
That doesn't change the fact that we had to have some sort of technology to get it there. We had. You can't tell me you had a bunch of people just pick it up and tote it over there, because I don't believe that.
Or get it up in the air as high as they do.
Oh, get it up exactly. There's so much there that I have no idea about.
Boy, milk conspiracy theories. Like this is a Monday for you.
It's a Monday.
You're off and running.
Milky Metallica Monday. If somebody brings us by a lactose-free,
time is running out on that
jar. It is. You're about
a quart with a mason jar.
12 minutes away.
Or you're going to have to go the numbers route, which then anybody could win.
That's exactly right. Do you want
to be the winner?
Or are you just going to leave it up to chance?
Right.
I mean, who's leaving it to chance?
I mean, maybe you're not a lucky person.
This would take away the need for luck. You just drive right over here, drop off the lactose-free milk for our coworker who had theirs thrown away, send an email expressing their anxiety, their disappointment, their anger, their anger even.
There's I think it was a sports coach who said this. Luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. Are you prepared this morning?
I like that. God, you should be a coach or something.
No, I should. I would be.
I'm going to go get some lactose-free
bad
milk.
Influence.
That's right.
And I'm going to just put it in the fridge, like attached to a string and a stick.
Like Bugs Bunny style.
Here, go get it. You want it?
Yeah.
Go get it.
Bloop. Caught.
Now trap them.
Caught.
I got you.
Love it. So there we go. I mean, about 12 minutes away, we're giving away these Metallica tickets. Metallica, one of the greatest rock bands of all time. And they're playing Mercedes-Benz Stadium tomorrow night. You can be there. Better get you a Metallica shirt because they'll throw you out if you don't have one. Even if you get it at Amazon.com or wherever. I mean, just don't walk in there without one because they'll throw you away. Scott Bessent was on CBS's Face the Nation, and, they don't like the Trump administration, so what are they going to do? Are they going to ask questions that are just straightforward, something they're genuinely curious about as a journalist?
They're going to talk about how great things are going?
Because I don't know if you've noticed, personal wealth took a triple the expected jump last Friday. Triple the expected jump.
But I thought that the inflationary environment was going to crush us all and that we were going to have no goods and services and that, well, hold on, we're going to have empty store shelves. Get ready.
Buddy, I feel like you have on MSNBC's Morning Joe all morning every day that we're in here. I feel like that happens.
I'm ready for it because I only watch Morning Joe.
That's right. We have it here at the studio. That way we could beat them to their own punch. But no, this was with CBS, Face the Nation, which is not that much different than any of the other weekend shows, Los. And Scott Bessent, he had his way with those clowns over there.
Yeah. So here is, and I love how there's a fun to this. Because remember, we are now talking about Pride Month. And so the highest ranking member of the administration, who also happens to be gay, is on television shredding the news media. Like it's almost like, listen, we created a warrior for you, and now you have to deal with him.
And he takes pride in dismantling those fools, those clowns in the mainstream media.
So take a listen. This is from Face the Nation. This is, again, addressing inflation and talking about what's going to be coming around the corner. And Bessent just says, hold up a second. I think I know a little more than you do.
We wanted to make sure that there aren't price increases, Margaret, and thus far there have been no price increases. Everything has been alarmist. The inflation numbers are actually dropping. We saw the first drop of inflation in 4 years. The inflation numbers last week, they were very pro-consumer.
Right. But you listen to earnings calls just like we do. Mm-hmm. You know what Walmart's saying, what Best Buy's saying, and what Target are saying.
But Margaret, I also know what Home Depot and Amazon are saying. I know what the South China Morning Post wrote within the past 24 hours, that 65% of the tariffs will likely be eaten by the Chinese producers.
The reality is there will either be less inventory or things at higher prices or both.
When we were here in March, you said there was going to be big inflation. There hasn't been any inflation. Actually, the inflation numbers are the best in 4 years. So why don't we stop trying to say this could happen and wait and see what does happen?
I love that.
Imagine that. It's a terrible plan. We can't deride the president doing that.
So when we started this entire exercise a little bit over 100 days ago, remember it was price of eggs. Price of eggs in Donald Trump's America are nearly $7.
I heard Jasmine Crockett this weekend talking about how, well, they're down now, but they went way, way up.
Yeah, because you end up culling thousands of birds over a bird flu. All right? What are we at now? $2.50. They don't bring that up anymore.
Affordable, yeah. Well, because it doesn't fit.
Fuel prices. They don't bring that up anymore.
Oh, shush.
The stock market. They don't talk about that anymore.
They thought they had inflation.
What? These are just constant. And again, it's not difficult. When you get out of the way of the American economy, when you deregulate it and you let it do what it do, this is what happens. Every time. Every time. Since the 1980s, just stay out of the way of the economy and you'll get a robust economy.
It seems like they would get that, but that's not the goal. The goal is to shake consumer confidence. The goal is to make you afraid, because what do you do if you're afraid? You watch them longer. They will tell you anything they can to keep your eyeballs on them.
You don't even have to watch the news. Now, again, I prefer that you just listen to us, and that actually works out really well. But if you want to consume some news, just know it's similar to when they call it doom scrolling. Where are you just consuming all of the stuff that you know is bad? You know how you know what's going on in this world outside of us? go into Publix, go into Costco, go to Walmart, go get gas. That's it. And then you'll know. More than likely, you'll know what is going on in this country.
That sounds like you're saying use your eyes and ears.
Go participate in consumerism, and you will know what is going on in this country. And things are considerably better right now.
Mainstream media is not trying to hear that. They're not trying to give you that. The last time you used your eyes and ears, you knew Joe Biden was diminished as a president, and there was a board of directors running the office. The mainstream media, however, had no idea. I saw a great piece. It was just a post about Jake Tapper, and it was from comedian Dave Smith. I don't know if you saw this or not. Dave said, so you're telling me that it's like J.D. Pritzker. Let me use an example. He said, it's like J.D. Pritzker told you that he was thin and in shape.
J.D. Pritzker being a man of quite immense size.
He's a large fella.
Robust is a nice way of putting it.
And you listened to him. You let him lie to you, and you reported that because there was no way to confirm anything else. You just went with what they told you. You were lied to. There's nothing you can do about it.
What are you going to do? J.D. Pritzker said that he was skinny.
And
he said he was in wildly good shape.
What are you going to do?
What can you do?
So it's just like with the thing with Joe Biden. They told you he was just fine. So who are you to say? You're just reporting what they told. They lied to you.
I mean, he's the president. If they tell you that he's fine, he's fine. Remember, this is a group. I was thinking about this on the way in. As I'm driving in this morning and I got into the building and in my Rolodex brain, I started kind of like, oh, what about this? Or what about this? What about this? And one of the things I thought about was, if you want to just talk about what's real, this administration, the previous administration, started off by telling you so many things that it was their version of reality. And their version of reality was, for instance, inflation is transitory. It won't be here that long. You had it for 4 years. They would tell you about their own versions of truths. Men are women, women are men, all that sort of stuff. Men can have babies, everything like that. All their craziness. So that by the time they try and take you out of make-a-believe land now and say, well, listen, we were just fooled. We were lied to. It's like, no, you were in on this stuff. You were in on trying to play make-a-believe with me for 4 years.
Because it fit what you wanted to see happen. You were just fine with what the president was doing. You supported what the board of directors or the president or whoever was running the country. You were fine with it all. You supported it all. So you reported it the way you wanted it to be reported. And now Jake Tapper's ratings are through the floor because of that, by the way.
Yes, they are trying to alter reality on the fly. They're trying to alter the results. It'd be similar to, I don't know, after 3 o'clock on election in 2020. They got to change everything. Because we got to spin this back our direction. That's what we've got to do. That's what they're playing right now. And to me, considering like even in CNN's polling, the Democrat Party went from a 21% favorability number to now 19%.
It's unreal.
And it mirrors what is going on in the news media because they are one. The news media is trying to unlink themselves from this thing. They're like, oh my God, I'm chained to this person and we're on the Titanic. No, y'all are together. Y'all are married.
That's right. You belong together, too. And I love the fact that things are falling apart and the American people get to see you and the Democrat Party for what they are. Untruthful.
And meanwhile, Fox News is doing gangbusters, and it's not because you have all these people that are conservatives or they're Republicans.
It's the MAGA crazies.
No, it's the people that are run-of-the-mill Democrats that are like, I don't have a home over with these crazy people anymore. At least give me some decent information.
It's funny because it's happening similar with us. We have this incredible jump in listenership with women.
Monster hop in listenership.
And women,
yes.
and women specifically, though. And with Fox News, what they're seeing is, as you're describing, it's Democrats just looking for the truth. They're like, where can I find somebody that will at least just give me the truth?
That'll at least talk about things in a manner where, because we criticize Republicans pretty well.
Yeah, and they deserve to be.
But we are basically telling you, we're going to have the truthful discussion. We're going to have it days ahead of time of most other people that are going to go down these roads. And so why do the numbers keep exploding? I believe it's because we're delivering information that people want to hear. It's that simple.
And probably don't see it or hear it
from anybody else.
It's how easy it is. 404-741-1230 is the number at Xtra1063 across the social media platforms. Final segment of the hour. We're giving away Metallica tickets on this Milky Monday. Metallica, mandatory Metallica. Like a rock station about 10 years ago.
Milk for Metallica!
That's right. But
we can't say we didn't try.
We did our
best. We don't deliver that milk.
All we can do is ask. And it looks like Simple Jack's going to have to come up with a number between 1 and 100 because I don't see any lactose-free milk on the counter right on the other side of Los in the studio window.
I get it. I know our audience is busy, but this was an easy way.
It's probably it. They're going to work.
I'm a little let down. That's all. I'm a little hurt. Like, I feel like I really have been bringing it since right around 6:01.
That's right.
It really is sad but true.
That's right.
We didn't get any milk.
Well, we still have 19 minutes.
That's right. 19 minutes, and we'll do Simple Jack math. Right at the end, right at the very dead last second that we can of this hour to make sure that no one wants to take us up on the milk that was thrown away. Our coworker is suffering this morning, and we want to take that suffering away with Milky Metallica Monday. When we come back, we all believe the same thing about the colleges and universities in America, and it ain't even close. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, June 2nd. No milk for the Braves. They are off today after dropping 2 of 3 to the Boston Red Sox at home over the weekend. Up next, the Arizona Diamondbacks will be in town to open up a 3-game series beginning tomorrow night over at Truist Park. From the road to Omaha, Tug, the top 2 seeds are out as Vanderbilt and Texas did not survive the regional round. The last time this occurred with the top 2 seeds was 2014. Georgia Tech, they were out. They were eliminated by Ole Miss. Georgia, the same for them as they were eliminated by Oklahoma State. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina. Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small, honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
Mark your calendars because summer is here and it's time to slide into summer at Truist Park as the Arizona Diamondbacks come to town June 3rd through the 5th. Fans can enjoy back-to-back giveaways June 4th and 5th featuring the Truist Park Stadium replica and the Beach Tote Bag presented by Visit Sarasota. Also on June 5th, the first 1,000 kids can join a pregame parade around the warning track and get a high five from Braves players.
Baldwin cranks one, flying back and way gone.
And May and the A deals were so great, we extended them through the Diamondback Series. That means $10 tickets and parking, $1.99 hot dogs, and $3.99 Miller High Life. Plus, don't forget to stop by the Braves Clubhouse store for 50% off City Connect hats and City Connect logo t-shirts. You can't beat great baseball and deals like this. Head to Braves.com/summer to get your tickets today and check out all of the summer fun. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Fox on film.
I'm Kathleen Maloney. Lilo and Stitch takes first place again at the box office with $63 million in North American ticket sales.
We have apprehended a dangerous experiment. Where is he?
He escaped.
He's trying to find the police cruisers.
He took the red one.
The Disney live-action film surpasses Sinners to become the second highest-grossing movie of the year, with more than $280 million domestically and $610 million globally in its second week of release. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning stays in second place with $27.3 million.
When the need for certainty is absolute and the odds are deemed impossible, the mission falls to him. Should he choose to accept?
Karate Kid Legends debuts in third place, bringing in $21 million in ticket sales. Kathleen Maloney, Fox News.
It's Fox Wheels.
After booming auto sales in March and April, Cox Automotive says that May's sales were flat in what experts say could be the beginning of the 2025 car market reset. That Americans willing to pay really expensive auto prices have already made their purchases, and that this summer and fall might end up being a car buyer's market. Look for lower prices, better incentives, and perhaps dealers more willing to deal to move metal. Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz are in talks with Washington over possible import tariff deals. For now, Volkswagen of America is saying it'll continue to hold vehicle prices at current MSRPs. Several foreign companies have announced major U.S. investments in response to tariffs, but German car makers have been more cautious about committing more resources to what is their biggest export market. That's Fox Wheels. I'm Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Fox on Tech. Hurricane season is here, and artificial intelligence wants to keep you safe. New AI products are taking their cracks at predicting tropical cyclones, and even the team of federal forecasters at the National Hurricane Center are interested in what it can do for them.
We're starting to evaluate some of the AI models that are being developed across many different participants in that space.
Center Director Michael Brennan speaking on the Fox News Rundown Evening Edition podcast.
We're starting to pull them in and evaluate them in our system this year, compare them to the traditional modeling we use, and see how they might be used to supplement us as part of our tool set going forward.
And yes, storm data devised by AI could be used to calculate storm tracks, which in turn help determine where landfalls and storm surges will strike and where watches, warnings, and evacuations are needed. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Tug and Los on Milky Metallica Monday, giving away Metallica tickets this morning, and we'll do it in the next about 12 minutes here on Extra 106.3.
Are they going to let us give away other stuff this week? Or is this pretty much them going, okay?
I think this is the Hail Mary here.
All right.
Got anything left after the move?
Yeah, I mean, I can go into the basement and find some fun stuff.
Yeah, like a folding chair or something?
I mean, I've got that, but...
I mean, that you could get rid of?
Like I have one piece of memorabilia that I wonder, I'm like, is it worth anything? And it's something I've had since the early 90s. It's a picture of Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr.
I love that picture.
That's
awesome.
Their
Is
cards,
it the famous one? And it's signed?
It's signed.
Oh, wow. Yes, definitely.
Because I got it at a card show when I was like 10 years old. They were there. Yeah. They were both there doing a signing. And so I got this. And so that's now sits in the basement.
That's cool.
And it's been put away for the better part of 30 years. And now I'm like, well, I'm going to do something with it, right?
Yes.
I don't know if we can
basketball
give it away.
signed by MC Hammer.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
That is cool, dude. How'd you come upon that?
When I left Q100 15 years ago, they were like, just go into the prize closet, take whatever you want. And I saw it, and I didn't know who the signature was. I figured it was Josh Smith or somebody. So I just took it with me. And years later, I'm looking at this thing, trying to figure it out. I finally got to the right angle, and I'm like, oh, this is MC Hammer.
That is cool.
Made it a lot cooler, yeah.
You can't touch this.
There's a can't touch this autograph card that goes for $3.99.
What?
There are... different signed piece of memorabilia that most at the low end are $20, and some of them's like signed pictures $45, signed albums $100. So
dude, signed basketball is good. I bet a good 100 and a quarter.
All right.
I'm guessing.
It's also the rareness of what you have it signed on. Like an autographed baseball that just says Hammer is $85.
Dude, so a basketball is going to be more than that.
We might need to do some swap shop radio later on in the week.
Come on, if you got some milk you want to swap for an MC Hammer basketball.
Yes.
Or some Metallica tickets. It's up to you. You choose which one. 404-741-1230 on the swap shop with the Morning Extra. You're on Extra 106.3.
Man, now looking back on it, MC Hammer really didn't like wearing shirts.
No, or if he did, it was very open like the Georgia baseball team.
Or paying taxes.
Or,
he didn't enjoy that.
That whole managing money just was not part of the game there.
Mm-mm. Is he back to good now, or is he still in that?
Let's see.
In that murky
his net
water.
worth?
Yeah, the murky waters of.
I mean, he's got to be worth millions and millions.
You would think with all the success he had.
Oh no, he has a net worth
$34.
His financial situation has been the subject of some media attention. He's been ordered to pay $800,000 in taxes by a court of appeals, and that's what he had to pay in 2013. It says that his net worth is estimated to be about $2 million. It previously, when he was at his height, was about $70 million.
Seems like you could have just paid yourself a financial advisor to keep you out of the ditch.
Yep.
And kept most of that.
Turns out, like, his traveling party was wild. Like, how big of a group he would have that would tour with him.
That's why Shaq's so smart about what he does.
Oh, man.
He's not even guaranteed.
Papa John's.
Yeah. Well,
Krispy Kreme.
But more than that, he doesn't even guarantee his kids. He's not telling them, you got this
2
fortune.
degrees.
Yeah, that's
2
right.
degrees is what they got to have.
You don't get this fortune. This is my fortune. I've made this fortune. I'm not just going to hand it off to you. There's some requirements. You have to get things done. And he doesn't come in. I've never seen Shaq with an entourage. He came in this building for 4 years, Los?
Yeah, if he was not by himself, then he typically was with like one of his kids.
And he's not stingy either. He holds the record for the most money ever spent at Walmart because he just went into a city and bought all the kids Christmas gifts.
That's right.
Yeah. No, he makes it a point though to like, because he would have his son with him, and he would make it a point. If we're in on a business meeting, you're taking notes.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to understand where all this comes from.
And he said it was from his stepdad that was an army, maybe a sergeant.
I think he was a drill sergeant.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But he's like, I learned from him the reason you do the things you do when it comes to taking notes, when it comes to making good financial decisions. Man, Shaq is one of a kind. That dude is an American icon, no doubt. But I mean not because of his fame and not the basketball stuff. The things that he's done since becoming famous and the businesses that he's invested in. He could be on Shark Tank, that dude.
So we paid attention to him since the time he was, because again, his stepdad is Phil, Sergeant Phil, and he was stationed at Fort Sam Houston. So there was this 7-foot kid in San Antonio, Texas, playing basically military basketball.
Oh, wow.
At Fort
Tearing
Sam,
down backboards.
and just destroying everyone.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knew who Shaquille O'Neal was, and by the time he went to LSU, I mean, again, he was a military kid, so it wasn't like San Antonio born and bred.
No,
it's like,
I know,
that's where he was.
But that's just where he was raised.
And so by the time that he then got to the NBA and then he proceeded to murder us for about 10 years, it was always like, you booed him, but he was also kind of your own.
Yeah. I was very fortunate. First NBA game I ever went to was at the Omni, and it was Shaq's first time coming to Atlanta playing the Hawks. And if I'm not mistaken, that's when the blizzard of 93 happened. So we got stuck down here. Had to get a hotel room to stay overnight because we couldn't get back home to Dalton. Took a couple days because there's 2 feet of snow that fallen. All right, so we're going to do Metallica giveaway here in just about a minute and a half since there's no milk.
We've been unable to secure milk. Even our general sales manager.
You would have.
He's like, I'll run out and get it, but I need to know what to go get.
And then what's he doing? Sitting in his bump. I can see him in his office right now.
No, he's not doing anything.
Not doing nothing. There's no way he's working on sales.
You see what his desk looks like?
Yes.
Just know, your desk will say a lot about you. Mm-hmm. His is disheveled, stuff all over the place. It actually makes him 70% more inefficient because he doesn't know where things are.
That's problematic.
And let's face it, efficiency is a thief.
That's right.
He's stealing from this company.
That's what it seems like. I hope he's not doing it intentionally. Now, what we know is where these Metallica tickets are. They are in our operations manager, Scott McFarland's office, who we called this morning to see if he'd get milk.
I think we woke him up. Yeah, I think we woke him up.
He's probably going to be furious with us later. We'll probably have to, we'll pay.
Maybe he has the day off. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
What? He has the day off?
I'm just saying that if he did.
If he did? Oh, my God. I would actually feel really bad. I don't think that's the case, though.
He sounded really asleep.
He did. He was dead to the world.
That's pretty cool.
He was cussing at us. Do we have somebody, Dre, just quickly? Do we have somebody that's going to bring milk? No.
It's going to bring milk? No, they want to win tickets.
No.
All right, we all figure out a number. Give these tickets away. Somebody's going to be a winner.
No milk.
On the opposite side, y'all figure it out. Give the tickets away and just get us a name, and then we'll congratulate them for their week victory.
And Simple Jack, 1 to 100. It can't be.
He's been working hard on coming up with this number.
Sweet.
All hour long.
Look at him pointing at his head. Like it's in here, the steel trap.
He's a business major, Sanford
I'll
University.
give everybody a hint. It's more than fingers and toes.
Okay, all right. Good enough.
And he is a regularly equipped human with those appendages.
Not missing any digits.
No, just call in and say fingernail.
And you'll win. Actually, if somebody does call and say fingernail, if they're the first through and they do say fingernail, you actually got to win because I think it'd be funny. We don't have time to get the audio, but it is funny. Like, most people think that colleges and universities are incredibly liberal and incredibly biased. And the number is like 46% of Americans think, yes, we know what's happening at our colleges and universities. And you're seeing it. When they say globalize the intifada, they mean it. And we saw it in Boulder, Colorado, as well as Washington, D.C.
Yeah, we had an attack on 2 people outside of working in the Israeli consulate. They were murdered. You then had a man who overstayed his visa here, who decided to make a primitive flamethrower and went after a pro-Israeli group that was just basically having a rally.
Literally set them on fire.
And set them on fire as he's yelling for free Palestine. This is what happens. This is what occurs when you have all this college fun of, oh, look, let's globalize the intifada, free Palestine, from the river to the sea, all that stuff. And then you see the people that are pretty out there, and now they start playing into it.
And then the mainstream media try to cover it up for you,
too.
Well,
you told them what would make their lives matter. If you do this, your life matters. For people that are obviously sick in the head, whose life does not matter. Well,
and this guy's an Egyptian national who's overstayed his visa. He's not supposed to be here. And what did the Biden administration do? Nothing. They allowed this to happen. And that's why we're dealing with it now. When we come back, is MAGA being exported or is common sense just back in fashion everywhere? Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, this commentary isn't going to make me a lot of friends, but make no mistake, I really love Atlanta. It gave me a career, a great one, and a wonderful wife, and a precious daughter. If I didn't love Atlanta, I wouldn't be as upset as I am over these headlines I see day after day after day in the newspaper and on TV. Examples from just a few days. Fulton elementary teacher shot, killed after party. 2 bystanders shot during business dispute in DeKalb. Police say rideshare driver shot passenger in Midtown. Massive teen brawl in Paulding County leaves 1 injured, 1 arrested. Gun pulled out during fight at Newton County Walmart. Georgia Tech student dies after being shot in the head at off-campus apartment. Gunfire sends McDonald's diners ducking after wild shootout in DeKalb. 4 teens shot in Snellville Park. The park I used to fly hot air balloons out of, by the way. 5 minors injured in shooting at Gwinnett County Park. McDonald's drive-thru blocked off after car shot up in DeKalb County. Man found shot to death on patio at Southwest Atlanta apartment. Now, I don't have to tell you that every single one of these stories involved black males. So why am I highlighting this culture of violence that permeates Atlanta again? Well, during the month or so that I collected these headlines, not one story on any TV station or in the newspaper that mentions this culture of black violence, not one story asking why are black males the number 1 cause of death of black males? Instead, for instance, we get a story in the AJC, black trail rides no longer just for cowboys. Wow. When do you think the people that count will start paying attention? No time soon, I suspect. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Dave Anthony, Fox News. A man now jailed in Boulder, Colorado, accused of carrying out what's being investigated as a terror attack.
Witnesses are reporting that the subject used a makeshift flamethrower and threw an incendiary device into the crowd.
Now, FBI Special Agent Mark McCulloch says 8 people were burned and hospitalized.
The reason the feds were so quick to call this a terror attack is because of what the alleged attacker said, Free Palestine, and who he targeted a group of people who are rallying to free Hamas's hostages.
That's Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House.
The suspect is a 45-year-old Egyptian man who overstayed a visa in 2022. That's what makes him an illegal immigrant. And police searching Mohammed Sabri Soliman's house in nearby El Paso County, Colorado last night.
He is facing assault and weapons and murder charges, though we have no reports of anyone being killed in the attack. And while those people attacked in Colorado protesting against Hamas, Israel hit Hamas with another airstrike today that Palestinian officials just said killed 14 people, the day after accusing Israel of killing 31 in a crowd near a food distribution site. The Israelis claim they only fired warning shots and not at civilians. There are new peace talks today in Turkey between Russia and Ukraine, which had carried out a big attack over the weekend using drones deep inside Russia, taking out warplanes and missile launchers.
Not many people think these talks will lead to a breakthrough. The two sides are far apart in demands. Russia has so far rejected Ukraine's call for an unconditional ceasefire before negotiating a long-term truce. Kyiv's accused Vladimir Putin of stalling for time.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The manhunt continues for 3 escaped prisoners. 2 broke out of a jail in New Orleans more than 2 weeks ago. Another escaped from a prison in Arkansas over a week ago. America's listening to Fox News.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Can't afford to fill your grocery bags or gas tank? Fill your day with the best conservative talk for free by downloading the Xtra 1063 app wherever you download your apps.
Tug and Los until 10 on Xtra 1063 on a Metallica Monday. And we've thrown in a Milky Metallica Monday because a friend of ours here, a coworker, was wronged. His milk thrown away from the bullpen refrigerator. That's where everybody kind of gathers to eat. And anytime like a company brings in food for the staff, it always goes back there. There's a Coke machine back there. It's where the Zero FG is. It's where the Freebird is, Freebird water. It's an important area in this building, and there was an email that went out, told everybody that, hey, in 2 weeks we're cleaning this out. I mean, it was almost a daily email that came out, and for some reason this coworker didn't get the email, and his milk was thrown away, and he proceeded to pitch fit. So it was
like a mosh pit out there.
Yeah, we were trying our best to get someone to bring him in a replacement of the milk that was thrown away. It did not work. We were let down. Los and I were, I mean, not disappointed, but we had hoped. We had hoped that we could have.
We were doing our best.
That's all you can do. That's all we can do.
And then I was going to pay it off with the Metallica, milk written in like Metallica language, but AI was really not delivering that for me very well.
It's look if it could have done a combination of the two, because the M and the A are the only what matters, but there's no, and they could have made that K maybe into the Metallica. I don't know. Anyway, the AI Grok failed us there, just like somebody failed us to bring us the milk for our coworker, but a listener did call in and gave the keyword fingernail. It was pick a number between 1 and 100, or
just say
fingernail. And
you're a winner.
And we did get a winner, Gerard.
Yes, sir. Brad in Marietta on his way to class. Congratulations.
Sweet, Brad.
And let's see. Let me do one thing just to check a box here. Limited tickets are still on sale now for Metallica's M72 World Tour 25 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Tuesday night. Featuring special guest Pantera and Suicidal Tendencies. Grab your tickets today from livenation.com.
There you go.
All right. Everybody's a winner.
Absolutely right. It will be fun. So our buddy's going to have a ball at Metallica tomorrow night, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I haven't seen Metallica since high school. There's a bit of me that would like to go to that concert, but I'm having second opinions, second thoughts, I guess.
Why is this?
It's because it's a late night.
I know,
It'd just
but
be so late on a Tuesday.
That's never stopped you before.
I know, but I'd be wiped out the rest of the week.
You asked me about it on Friday, and I'm like, at the time, I'm like, yeah. And then
I know. There's that little bit of me that if it weren't a Tuesday night, maybe a Thursday night. So Friday, if you're wiped out, you could power through. But if it wrecks the whole rest of the week, that wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair to you or Dre or Simple Jack or anybody.
I think we would be fine if you were very tired on Wednesday
and Thursday
and
Friday.
We'd be okay. All right. So I've found out. Programming note, I won't be here on Friday.
I see, there we go. I can't be wiped out Friday. We're not here.
Because I have to go to Franklin, Tennessee, because my daughter made a all-star team, and we've got to go there for the next round of training. And so last year, it was here. It was in Atlanta, so no big deal. And then the special team was in Iowa, but she suffered the concussion, so I had to fly there to bring her back. If she makes this team, then they send her to Madison, Wisconsin.
Goodness.
So this is going to be quite the pricey June for us.
No kidding, man. Hey, kids are expensive, and grandkids, I would imagine, too, especially for grandparents who throw in to the 529 or help pay for those travel sports that are incredibly, incredibly expensive and getting more expensive by the day.
I had Matt Edgar. He produces Nick and Chris down the hall. And he brought up that, since our A5 organization, that they're offering or they're opening up a Calhoun location. And he talked about how what they've seen is a massive amount of girls. It's like volleyball is growing so incredibly fast.
By leagues and bounds.
To the point where you weren't cutting players at the ages that we're doing. Now it's like you're getting cut at like 11, 12 years old right now. It's crazy.
But if you're good enough and you stay the course, there are opportunities for college scholarships and volleyball. Because I know you're researching that. You've been seeing that.
Oh, yeah.
And the availability is there.
In fact, this is what happened with the NCAA. When they had their ruling and they expanded the amount of scholarships available. So in volleyball, it's always been 12. It now jumped to 18. So you have teams that are going to have, if they choose to fulfill all 18, you're going to have like 5 or 6 girls that are like full ride scholarship athletes that don't touch the floor.
Unreal, dude.
Like ever.
It's absolutely crazy. But there's nothing better than kids in sports. That is my opinion. I know that's not held by everybody, but it is a good opinion. I feel like sports teaches you so much. Teamwork, camaraderie, how to win, how to lose. And all of those things will happen to you in the course of your life. Every one of them in sports will already have prepared you for it, if you ask me.
I feel like I've actually found a milk sign that kind of looks like Metallica.
Let me see.
That I can now post this, and this is what we will say goes out to everyone that we work with.
See, that's getting closer. Yeah,
like
I like
milk.
That. Yeah.
But it's written in kind of like Metallica language.
Maybe you put lactose-free down the bottom. Just like an asterisk beside it, Because you can't just bring in milk. You'll have him in the bathroom for days. It'd be terrible. Poor man.
This is the weirdest thing that we've ever got. Like, we've had some shows where things go a little haywire, a little weird.
Nothing like this.
Somebody was punching a trash can
over milk
last week, so that's why it won't go away.
It will not. And
wasn't a bottle of Blanton's.
No, because that would be worth knocking over. I'd be upset about that too.
Quite upset.
But no, it was just milk, just milk. That's all. Lactose free, but just milk.
I'm just putting you on this tweet just so you've got it too.
Yeah, I want to be there. Axios said that MAGA, the movement, is being exported by Trump.
What?
It's being exported by Trump. While that might be somewhat true, because you see overseas people that they'll reference Donald Trump, but I don't think it's that. The reason the rest of the world is listening and gravitating toward Donald Trump, like us here in the United States, because people are sick and tired of leftist lies. That need for globalization that they told you is going to be the greatest thing ever. It's going to be great. This globalization is going to be perfect. No borders. We're all one, like a John Lennon song.
We are yearning for honesty. No, I talked about that the very first day, Inauguration Day. I was like, make America honest. I didn't recognize that Maha would take this from me, but that's fine. That works out well, too. We have a society that's asking for more honesty. Now, granted, in the interest of state secrets, there are going to be things that they will not tell you about completely. For instance, those drones over New Jersey, where'd that story go?
Yeah.
And what was the excuse? Well, we know what they are. What are they? We're not going to get anything further.
And then Donald Trump came into office and said, hey, they're ours.
They're ours. And
just know.
They're ours.
And that's all you need to know.
But that's what we got. But that was, again, one of those stories of like, you just want honesty. You just want somebody to be straightforward.
You don't have to give every detail.
No, but after 4 years of what you got previously, it's not like, this whole MAGA movement. It's spreading all over the place. People are just looking for, treat me like I'm an adult. You were not treated as an adult by the teachers' lounge for 4 years. They told you everything was fine with Joe. They told you all the economic data was great. They were making up jobs on the fly.
And then what's the word I'm looking for?
And then revise it down every time.
Every month. Month after month after month.
And all they ever told you was, we'll pay attention to the stock market as we're giving it a sugar high. Part of what happened...
Your 401k looks great.
Your 401k looks great because we're spending money hand over fist from the government that we don't have. So in the same time that your 401k looks great, your buying power, your dollar was going had so much less buying power. Like, you look at what happened with the price of homes. What happened to that? It wasn't that your home exploded in value. Your dollar shrunk in value.
That's exactly right. And it buys less and less. And until we get back on track, which I'm hoping is the trend that we're following and seeing now, then we get back to some sort of normalcy, some sort of reality. But you see it, especially in Europe right now. Charlie Kirk brought this up when he went over there to debate a bunch of Europeans over the same things that he debates people on college campuses across the country in the United States about. He said, I wanted to kiss the ground when I got back to the United States. That's how far gone Europe is. And you saw it in Paris this weekend, where they said, well, this is a celebration of a soccer team's victory gone wrong. Like, They're hanging Hamas banners off the Joan of Arc statue in Paris. That's nothing to do with soccer.
It had nothing to do with football.
But that's what they told you.
It was here are our migrants. Here are the people that we've given this country away to. And now they're doing whatever they feel like. And you can go through the numbers. This is not unusual. You can look at the amount of migration that has occurred and where it's occurred from all across Europe. And then you'll see the amount of sexual assaults that have also spiked. Are you saying all migrants? Oh, I'm saying the more you bring in, the more sexual assaults you get. Not everyone conducts themselves like you want them to around the world.
They don't appreciate your culture. They don't want to live with your culture. People come to your country to destroy it or overthrow it. They don't want your culture. It's bad in Europe, but then you have what happened in Washington, D.C. and then in Colorado. 2 incidents that happened in the United States in the past, was it week now?
Yeah, one week.
2 people were shot in cold blood.
Because they looked Jewish.
Exactly. And they weren't, they were Jewish, but they were Jewish Christians.
Yes.
And they had planned to get married, and this person killed them as they were screaming Free Palestine or whatever. And then again this weekend in Colorado, the man who was an Egyptian national had overstayed his visa, wasn't supposed to be here, decided he's going to light people on fire for practicing their First Amendment rights. In the United States, it's not Europe. I've told you how bad it is in Europe. You know that. But that's what the plan is for here.
The imagery couldn't have been more perfect when it comes to the downfall of the leftist views. You had a man without a shirt, not from this country, here illegally, looking to light people on fire as he stands underneath a rainbow flag.
Just a snapshot.
It was the perfect snapshot of everything that goes wrong. That when you watch these people and you give them power within your society, look at the things that happen. We interviewed this one person in Boulder, and he talked about how dangerous Boulder has gotten. Boulder is supposed to be like the quaint Colorado, University of Colorado, and here's Boulder, a little slice of heaven on earth.
Out there.
It is
absolutely gorgeous to look at. And yet they talked about how they have to post guards at public restrooms because of the drug use.
It's unbelievable. And then you can't help but notice, while we have to accept all immigrants, and I'm not saying we shouldn't accept any, I just think there needs to be some sort of orderly fashion. I think there needs to be laws applied. I think there needs to be rules, vetting, just the basic stuff that you would do to anything. Like if you're going to rent an Airbnb, they're probably going to vet you to make sure you're not going to destroy their house. Why is it only Western countries and Western cultures have to accept everyone? Middle East doesn't. They don't say anybody can come to Saudi Arabia, anybody can come to Bahrain. No, they don't. The Asian countries don't just allow anybody in. You can't even be a citizen of Japan. They don't even allow it.
No, don't allow it. They're very closed with their culture.
Which I understand.
Fine. Them's their rules.
That's what they want to do.
They can do what they want to do.
I have no problem with it. But I do have a problem with it's only Western cultures that say, dude, if you don't let everybody in, you're the problem.
See, and that's the issue we're running into. And we're seeing this largely with when it comes like Sharia law. Okay. There are aspects that we have with other cultures that will not work with Western society, that will not work with Western culture. There's some issues there where you go, that is not compatible. So, for instance, hardcore Islam, not compatible.
That's not.
Doesn't work. If you want to say pretty average, kind of run-of-the-mill Islam, no problem. You got a spot here. But you ain't dialing up to 11.
No. We had some really nice neighbors from Morocco. Wonderful folks. They were Muslim. But there was never a worry with them because they shared American values and they were very open. They wanted you to know that. They were like, hey, man.
We dig what you're doing.
We moved
your barbecue
here.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
We like it here.
We moved from Morocco and we love the United States. And their kids, just the sweetest kids you've ever seen in your whole life. We spent all kinds of time with them and still do when we can. You know, their kids are growing up, taking them in different directions. Our kids growing up, taking them to... But when we can see each other, we do. That's the difference. The people in Dearborn, Michigan, the people that have taken over...
Does not work with our society. Does not work.
That say we want Sharia law in the United States. That is our stated goal.
Not compatible.
It just doesn't add up.
It doesn't
make sense. And it never will.
Yeah.
It's not going to change.
And the fact that you will find when it comes to anti-Semitic behavior, and you see it that is popping out of these areas, not just from portions of the Muslim community, because that's obviously you've got a long history there, but what you're seeing is it growing out of campuses. And you're like, what are y'all teaching? What are y'all pushing? And a lot of it is multiculturalism and everyone lived together and the West is no more special than anything else. It all ends up brewing out of that stuff.
I read this weekend that the CCP in China, the Communist Party of China, they call Harvard University a state-run school, and they don't mean the United States. They're talking about how they've sent so many people here to infiltrate the United States to be able to do all kinds of things to the United States, whether it's still intellectual property or worse. They call it a state school. Harvard, the most identifiable American institution in higher learning, the CCP calls it a state-run school. That tells you everything you need to know. And that tells you also why Donald Trump's coming down so hard on it, because everybody in D.C. knows it too.
If you do it to Harvard, it sends a message.
Yeah, it does.
This very much is walk into the prison, find the biggest guy, and knock his head off. Lets everybody else know. If you can do it to Harvard, and Harvard's trying to, we're gonna sue them back. We're gonna fight the federal government. You beat Harvard, the rest fall in line
because they know.
Because then they know. Dad's in town.
If Harvard,
Daddy's got you
with the endowment that they have.
If you can't operate without federal assistance, what are you doing?
You need to.
It's like NPR. You can say whatever you want. You can be as
liberal,
free speech
crazy
as you want. You just can't do it with our money.
Well, but the thing is, they don't do free speech. Nope. They do captured speech and they package it as free speech.
And yet, then you still require to take my tax dollars. You're welcome to be as leftist as you want.
That's right.
Air America tried it 30 years ago.
#fail. And the rest of it will too. And the reason that they don't want to lose that money is because they know it. They try to downplay it. Well, it's just such a small portion, the federal money, small portion of our budget. Now you threaten to take it away, and it's like, oh my goodness, how are we going to stay afloat? Well, that's a great question. Do it on your own. We're done paying for it. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. While the Dems try to figure out men, they send the wrong messenger. You have to hear about this messenger. It's another Olivia Juliana. Maybe even worse. Next on Extra.
Get the latest breaking news and insight from the biggest conservative voices in the South when you follow Extra 106.3 across all your social media platforms. Find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at Extra 106.3.
Make sure that you're ready. Your home is ready for this Georgia heat. We're about to get a little primer to the Georgia heat. You know, the temperature is going to start creeping up, and once it gets up there, it ain't going back until November. So you need to make sure that your HVAC is ready to handle this Georgia heat and keep your family cool. If you got more than one system in the house, what happens when one goes out? And then you got one system trying to keep the entirety of your home cooled off, and it just puts that extra pressure. And if that system's not maintained well enough, then it's not going to be able to keep up. And then where are you when both of them go out? Well, if you have Central Heating and Air Conditioning and their maintenance agreement, you don't have to worry about any of this. It's all taken care of. And $10 from every new agreement goes to Skyland Trail, which helps folks in desperate need of mental health care. Skyland Trail, wonderful organization helping folks here in Atlanta. And $10 when you sign up for a new maintenance agreement, no matter how many you sign up for. Maybe you got a house, business. Maybe you got 2 houses. Maybe you do it like that. And I love it if you do. God bless America. But call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. That way, that money that you invest in yourself can also help folks that are dealing with a mental health issue right now. Skyland Trail, wonderful organization. So is Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. One more time, 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Back by popular demand, D. Geller & Son Jewelers Watches and Whiskey event is next weekend, June 13th through 15th at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son, where we're celebrating summer and Father's Day by bringing in an incredible variety of new and pre-owned luxury Swiss timepieces. Fan favorites like Tissot and Omega, showstoppers like Rolex and Breitling. You can walk out the door with something you might have to wait years on a list for otherwise. D. Geller & Son has been Atlanta's source for quality and value since 1939. And with over 85 years in Atlanta, you can trust what you're getting from D. Geller & Son. And while you're browsing, enjoy complimentary whiskey tastings thanks to Old Fourth Distillery, and get a free whiskey gift set with your purchase. Guys, watches and whiskey. How much better could a Father's Day weekend be? It's this weekend, June 13th through 15th at D. Geller & Son Jewelers in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Yellow Jacket fans, don't miss your chance to lock in your seat for the 2025 football season today. Next year's home slate is highlighted by the renewal of our rivalry with Clemson, as well as ACC matchups versus Pitt, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech. Into the end zone! Touchdown! Haynes King! All hail the King! Support head coach Brent Key and the Jackets on game day by visiting RamblingWreck.com/tickets to get your season tickets today. Sting 'em.
This is Bruce Hagan. The The law in Georgia has changed, and if you have been injured in a car crash, it's going to be harder than ever to get insurance companies to treat you fairly. What you need is a real lawyer on your side, not some phony TV or billboard lawyer who doesn't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 straight years, and we try cases and we win. We get results for our clients. Call me, get in touch, Hagen-law.com. We are real lawyers who will win your personal injury case.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Monday, June 2nd. The Department of Homeland Security has identified hundreds of cities and counties it says are not following the federal guidelines on immigration. In Georgia, the only cities listed were Atlanta and Athens. The DHS also listed the following counties: Athens, Clarke, DeKalb, Douglas, and Fulton. Mayor Andre Dickens refuted the allegation of Atlanta being a sanctuary city. The city of Mableton reached an agreement with Cobb County at an emergency meeting Friday night for police and transportation services. Mableton will pay Cobb $9.5 million for the unusual one-year deal. Cobb officials meet later today to discuss the agreement. And a DeKalb County fifth grader made it to the finals in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Sarv Dharavane was the first Georgia finalist in over 25 years and took home third place. Today's weather: sunny, warm, and dry with some hazy skies due to Canadian wildfires. Temperatures will reach the mid-80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
8 o'clock hours brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Maintenance agreement. Get one today. $10. Go to Skyland Trail, helping folks that are struggling with mental health issues right now in Atlanta. That is 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
I'm struggling with other things that are nowhere near as serious.
Well, it's probably, let me guess, it's something to do.
My wife wants me to go earlier, I think. I think she's trying to angle for me to handle practice, which typically she handles Monday practice.
I did see on Fox this morning, it is National Leave Work Early Day.
What?
Adios.
Los gone.
Okay.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
I came back.
Yes, but that means your wife could leave work early.
Entirely possible, yeah.
And then you wouldn't have to.
Then wouldn't have to worry
about it. Now the onus is on her.
And that's right.
What is it?
I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, you said it wrong.
I gotta keep that. Gotta keep that handy.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what word it is you used. I don't understand what you're saying.
He used one that, I don't know, sound foreign.
It was. Do you got some like peanut butter like in your mouth or something?
Do you think it's
No, sometimes I'm just slow on the uptake on a Monday. And
as he searches his boards file.
Yep, hang on, just stall and
maybe.
There it is. And we have it.
The anus?
And
onus? It was so funny because Neil had no idea.
In his career, do you think he's ever said that on the air besides on Extra 106.3?
No. Well, he's referred to people as such, but he's never been put in the quandary of having to determine, did I say what I think y'all are saying?
He's never ended using the word with a question mark.
With a question mark? Maybe tomorrow, we'll see.
I hope so.
The
I hope
anus?
So. Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. The anus is on you
to figure that out.
That's
right, load
Neil.
that into the system, and somebody's going to be looking and say, excuse me?
Yeah,
excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll have the same question mark at the end of the sentence.
That's what I said, yeah.
But, yeah.
What a weird show today.
See if we can. Well, look, it's Milky Monday.
It's Milky Monday.
It's a new month.
It's the smoke in the air from Canada.
It's just
messing with everybody.
It's made me.
It's made us a little loopy. That's what's happened. Yeah, so my wife wants me to, I think she's trying to angle for me to take my daughter to practice today, and so I now have to figure out a way out of that.
Well, look, just tell her you're being deported by ICE or something. Come up with something extraordinary.
I got a little bit of issue. I said that they're going to be over at the facility and they're checking IDs.
I can't go.
This is going to be kind of a problem.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. I mean, listen, they're not going to stop you.
No.
You got auburn hair and blue eyes. You're fine.
Baby, Smith Shawver's out for the year, and the Braves gave me a call. We're friendly, and so They know I've got an arm.
I need to throw some BP. They need somebody to throw some BP.
I got to go over there.
I got to go
That's
over
a
there.
once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I got to see where. Listen,
This could change our lives. They might sign me to a 1-year deal.
I've seen where like a 40-year-old does get a contract.
It happens once in a while.
The Kurt Warner of the Braves.
It'd be me and Jesse Chavez just cutting it up.
That's right. Jesse and his cool hat. Be great. Look, get out of it any way you can.
I'm going to see what he can do. I got to find a way out.
If you are going to talk to men like the Democrats say they want to. Now, we played it earlier where Joy Behar says, well, don't try to talk to men. They're all sexist pigs. Don't waste that $20 million talking to men. There's no need. I mean, unless you can reform them from their terrible ways, evil ways.
To think they're committing $20 million to figure out something that they can't do. Like, if you can't reach men, it doesn't matter if you make it $40 million.
That's right. Well, DNC Vice Chair Malcolm Kenyatta, he says a man who's thinking he's a woman is the best messenger. And he's talking about Representative Sarah McBride. It's a man who identifies as a woman.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. He says that Sarah McBride is the best messenger for the DNC.
One of the reasons I was really excited to talk to you is that I think you're one of our party's best messengers in the way that you take issues that can and are complex to people who aren't thinking about politics every single day.
I got to tell you, when you come into the room and things are clearly not on the up and up, immediately I'm dismissing what you're saying because I'm like, I'm
too busy trying to figure this out.
Right. You couldn't focus on what you wanted to talk about anyway because you're going to be so like, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
If it was, now you said it was Sarah McBride?
Mm-hmm.
All right, if Sarah McBride walked into this room, it doesn't matter what Sarah McBride would bring up. I would be busy thinking to myself, what trauma could create such a person who's so lost? And then I'd be playing it out in my mind. Like, what are all the things that probably happened to you in order to make this version of you stand in front of me and try and talk to me? And the message is not there anymore. I mean, didn't they learn anything from Dylan Mulvaney?
No, they did not.
Did they not learn about trying to reach men using a man playing little girl?
Mm-mm. They did not. They see nothing wrong with that. They may give it another try. Would you be surprised?
Did you not learn from one of your packs that tried to tell me about, I'm not afraid of a woman and I'm a man. I braid hair.
Yeah, I bench squat 500 pounds. And I sit cross-legged on the back of a tailgate.
I eat carburetors.
Yeah, that's right. But the dude that's sitting on the back of the tailgate talking about his tailgate.
That's right.
He's like twisted at the hips. I don't know any dudes that sit like that. Not actual dudes.
Not dudes.
They did that on purpose, though. There's no way that they got that.
No, that's what they thought. I'm telling you. These are the same people, and this is more systemic of what has gone on. If you remember, this now goes back to like 2009, 2010. Do you remember how and what they pushed at you in order to sign up for Obamacare? Do you remember Coffee Boy?
I do. It was Pajama Boy.
Pajama Boy.
Yes, and he was holding the cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do.
You remember how feminine?
Oh, of course I do.
Do you remember how much you went, that's not what a dude looks like? Like, there's no cowboy there.
They know that.
But that's their version of the idealized man.
And the fact that you don't recognize it makes you the problem, which is their problem. Because they'll disguise the language, because that's part of the SAM, the Speaking to American Men, disguise the language and not sound so abnormal. You know, we want to use normal language, but still talk about the same foundational things that we believe, like Pajama Boy, as he sat in his Christmas Eve pajamas.
Drink hot chocolate. Talk about getting health insurance. There you go. That's pretty, though. As a man.
Well, I guess to the left.
I mean, I do enjoy when I wear the Christmas pajamas, but I don't let that show up everywhere. Like, somewhere on my phone, there is the year where we had our Christmas pajamas.
We do it every year.
And I don't, like, here, I'm going to put this on out there for everybody to see my Christmas pajamas.
We don't post pictures about it. I don't hold a coffee cup like that. I mean, it's like Tim Walz with his double hand wave.
And yet, the best messenger is a man playing dress up as a woman.
Now, if they got a really attractive woman to go talk to men about anything.
Sure.
Then you could probably get a dude's attention for a little while up until those foundational ideas make their way out, and then dudes are going to be like, I'm out.
But it goes the exact same way. So when, let's say, for instance, they marched out AOC on you, Tug would be like sitting there at attention.
How
like,
you doing, girl?
What does she have to say? I'm really interested in this. I like your attire. This is a lot of fun. What then happens is AOC starts spouting off the lines that she does. And what happens, as women on their side tend to do, they kill and eat their own. Like, that's what they did to Gretchen Whitmer. Now, again, you're like, hey, Gretchen Whitmer, attractive lady.
She's attractive lady, too.
And what did they do to her?
She's out.
She's out. All she said were tariffs might be beneficial to the automobile workers in Michigan.
Which the automobile workers in Michigan said, those tariffs will be beneficial to us. She did nothing but echo what her constituency said.
Yes.
And she's out.
This is helpful to us. That's what she said. Uh-oh, you backed Donald Trump's tariffs.
And then you're caught standing on stage with him. You're caught in the Oval Office with him.
They will eat their own.
Who are you dating? They're like, she's dating Donald Trump. She's with him more than anybody.
Like, if you had a Jasmine Crockett that didn't try and become street Jasmine Crockett, that's better. But she's playing a character.
That's right.
And what's so bad about it is she's an educated woman who's decided, let me see what I can emulate to come across to more black people. Because me being just a normal talking woman apparently wasn't doing enough for her level of popularity within the party.
Yeah,
so she's playing a character in a similar way that Sarah McBride is playing a character.
See, I don't think I realized that Representative Malcolm Kenyatta, the vice chair of the Democrat Party, is a gay man. So it's a gay man talking to a man who fashions himself as a woman, trying to talk to everyday dudes. I'm not saying they can't get along, they can't be friends. Certainly they could. But they're not going to have a lot in common politically. And you've seen that over and over and over and over again. I have nothing in common as a regular old dude from Northwest Georgia that
you can't relate.
There's nothing that they're talking about that probably hits my radar screen much. That don't mean they're not nice people. Again, but they're just not going to talk to me about. Do you think they'll ever talk to me about country music? Do you think anybody at that table right now will be like, "Hey, Tug, you heard that new country song from Sam Barber, his kid from Missouri, blowing up"? Neither one of them have ever heard of him.
If you could start there, now we've got a little bit of dialogue going.
Point, right?
It's like, what do you do? What do you happen to have?
How do you get your foot in the door?
That you can level with people to get your foot in the door.
I mean, it's almost like a sales call. Like
yes.
our sellers, when they're talking to companies about advertising,
they're not talking about that.
They don't walk in saying, "Will you sign the paper right here, right now? Let's be done." No, you walk in, man. How are you? It's great to see you. You figure out what they do and what they're into.
Sports and everything else.
That's exactly right. There's nothing that those two are talking about that's going to resonate with a dude, like a regular dude. Nothing.
I think about those conversations.
And I know I'm awful for saying that.
But it's true. I think about these conversations that go on. And I can think of friends of mine that I know that are pretty left. And one of them the other day kind of threw something at me. And my response to it was so direct and so like kind of middle of the road. She looked at me like, I didn't know you thought that way. I'm like, yeah, you've been treated or you've been told that I'm somehow like some sort of fanatic, that somehow I'm crazy because I voted for Donald Trump. And as she's staring at me like this is like in wonderment, like, wait a minute, like you're not supposed to think that way. I'm like, because you bought a narrative. That's what they've done. And so what's so difficult for them is to get beyond those narratives, to think of men as something other than just Neanderthal. Me hate woman.
That's right.
Me want to make more money.
That's right.
Me just can't have beer. Me
get in the kitchen.
That's right.
You know, that's the way it's sold. And so when you're something more than that, they're a little bit weirded out by it.
But dude, every dude they present is so opposite of just a regular dude to try to balance that, right? We're not that. We're not those things that Los just described. We're very
Meanwhile,
soft-handed.
I roll out Anna Paulina Luna.
Yes, I will.
Okay. That's what I'm doing. Now, granted, we could roll out Nancy Mace, but we don't have to. Nancy can be a little bit.
She's a go-getter. She's
yes.
fine. Although,
I'm just saying, if we want to soften up the image a little bit while still also delivering the goods, you roll out Anna Paulina Luna. I mean, that's what we can do.
We have lots of options. For dudes, they have no options.
Yes.
They told you Tim Walz was the option.
The option. Meanwhile, we have J.D. Vance.
Yeah, right.
Where guys are actually like, we like him.
Yeah, seriously. We would go to battle behind him.
Right. That dude's funny.
We'd fall in behind him and march into battle. Who's doing that with Tim Walz? Give me one soldier that goes, that's my leader.
Give me the dude who's a dude. That's, every single time when we have this conversation, I find it so enlightening because we continue to explain to them how to do it. And every time it's almost like they went to take a test over the weekend and they came back with even the more wrong answers.
That's right.
I was like, guys, here's what you do and this will work. $20 million. If you do this, this will work. And they come back and they go, you know what we need to do? Let's introduce them to Sarah McBride.
What do you think? And but
that's a man. Yes, but messaging.
It's going to help them. They'll understand us better.
It's going to work this time. Like, no, are you kidding? Like, stop doing this.
They're never going to.
I just gave you the answers to the test. You know what? Every answer on the test is B, and you keep coming back
with C. See your way out. Like, that's what they told us in high school. If you don't know, just key in C. When we come back on Extra 106.3, do not buy Chris Cuomo's new Fair and Balanced Act. I'll show you why next. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about Tom, the honest car guy. You've heard all the ads, and you wonder, well, just how honest are we talking about? Well, it's really about you and your time, because when you contact Honest Car Guy, honestcarguy.com, or you just give him a call, 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1. First off, you don't have time to be at a dealership for 6 hours and play that entire game of back and forth and back and forth. Well, when you work with Tom, this is what happens. You are able to actually see how the entire process comes together. And then you can decide, hey, can you explain that a little bit more? Can you show me where the savings are? And he can line all that out for you. You can just be watching his computer. He'll do it on your computer. However you want to do it, he can get that taken care of. You will then see the thousands of dollars you save by going with this process. You'll see where dealerships will hit you up multitudes of times for a lot of transactional fees that are not really necessary. So what happens once you've got that car? Then you just pay the Honest Car Guy fee. That's it. That's how you save thousands of dollars in this transaction. Again, go to honestcarguy.com or give it a phone call, 844-SHOW-ME1. Just have that make and model in mind and let the process play out from there. The honest fees at the end, and you're good by saving thousands with Honest Car Guy.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, June 2nd. No milk for the Braves. They are off today after dropping 2 of 3 to the Boston Red Sox at home over the weekend. Up next, the Arizona Diamondbacks will be in town to open up a 3-game series beginning tomorrow night over at Truist Park. From the road to Omaha, Tug, the top 2 seeds are out as Vanderbilt and Texas did not survive the regional round. The last time this occurred with the top 2 seeds was 2014. Georgia Tech, they were out. They were eliminated by Ole Miss. Georgia, the same for them as they were eliminated by Oklahoma State. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Don't miss the first MLB All-Star Week event at Truist Park as talent meets tradition in the 3rd annual HBCU Swingman Classic presented by T-Mobile and powered by the MLB/MLBPA Youth Development Foundation. Join fans, athletes, and alumni to watch Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. shine a light on 50 of the best young ball players from HBCUs around the country on baseball's biggest stage, July 11th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today at allstargame.com/swingman.
You protect your physical health by choosing your doctors carefully. Protect your financial health by choosing an attorney carefully. An accident can be very costly. You want to receive the compensation you deserve. Call Van Sant Law. My friend David Van Sant will take care of you, trust me, very well. The number is 855-GA-INJURY. The website is vansantlaw.com. In the event of an accident, it could be the most important phone call you make.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes. After that transformation, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. Ready, set, action. Not quite. There's now a trend on Capitol Hill. More and more congressional offices are prohibiting the shooting of video or recording in offices. They range from House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Brian Mast to former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and even backbenchers like Florida Republican Aaron Bean. The office of House Rules Committee Chairwoman Virginia Fox features a sign which shouts, "No photos or videos allowed inside without prior authorization." Some of the signs began appearing back in 2018. In recent years, political activists have tried to record video of lawmakers in their offices confronting them and hoping they score something which goes viral. But shooting video in congressional offices scaled back during the pandemic and in the immediate aftermath of the Capitol riot in 2021. Many of the offices posting the cinema non grata warning are clustered together, and the no video signs come as other offices make a point of saying a particular office belongs to the people of a specific congressional district, or that the office is pet friendly. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Life hack. Turn any sofa into a sofa bed by telling your wife to calm down.
Yeah, turn any sofa into a sofa bed.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
It's funny to see the rats scurrying away from the sinking ships of mainstream media, but they are. You've seen it over and over again. People are just like not paying attention. They have nothing to listen to. They have nothing to believe in when it comes to mainstream media. And I want to tell you why. I want to show you why. Maybe just lay it out for you in audio form, them in their own words, and why you shouldn't listen to him anymore. We'll start with Chris Cuomo.
Oh, Chris.
Yes, the guy that, he's now on News Nation, and he's got a variety of people, and he talks about COVID a little more openly now.
So this was CNN versus now, the current day Newsmax guy.
Yep. And it is
a little different. A little bit different.
Laken Riley, he says, was just one homicide. It shouldn't divide the culture. But then if you rewind to George Floyd, totally different point of view. Listen to the 2 different distinct points of view, see if you can separate the difference.
We are fighting over culture issues and controversies that are completely made up. We divide this country over a single homicide of somebody, and it's absolutely wrong. What happened to Laken Riley is horrible. It's one too many, any way you want to look at it. But it is also an artificial issue. Of course, these actions are against the law. Of course, they're not what we want to see. But we in the majority cannot allow ourselves to be corrupted by toxic talk about the correct way to express that pain. Please don't just see the death of George Floyd. See all of it. Yes, this one is on video. And yes, it's so obvious. So that you can say, well, this one I get. It's not just this one.
Do you see the shift? He said with Laken Riley.
One of them can't be symbolic. The other one has to be.
That's exactly right. One, artificial, dividing the culture for no reason. The other, the burning down in Minneapolis, completely understandable. That one, we all have to be on board for. And if you're not on board, then you're wrong. You're terrible. You're not a good person. You clearly don't have feelings for the oppression that people experience. All the other keywords that they'll throw in there, the buzzwords, if you will.
Well, why don't we point out, if we're going to go down that Laken Riley road, how about Ava Moore?
Doesn't matter.
From last week, where that was a woman who was hit and run she was kayaking in Lake Grapevine, 2 illegals, and then they tried to basically cover it up and get out of there. And you don't think this is somehow, systemic racism? Well, this is a systemic problem of people that don't care for our laws and don't believe in our laws and didn't come here in a lawful manner. That's systemic. Look how many of them are doing this stuff.
6 illegal immigrants charged in South Carolina over mother's murder. This story never got any attention. Ever. It was never discussed in mainstream media. And now, over the weekend, this happened weeks ago, this is finally getting some attention. People are finally taking notice. Why? Because it didn't matter. It didn't match the narrative. You think the mainstream media is going to run with that one? No. They're going to bury it. They're going to act like it didn't happen. They're going to tell you that if you even notice that it happened, you're the bigot, you're the racist. This woman happened to be black.
Yeah.
The mother that was killed. And it still didn't fit. It still wasn't powerful enough.
By the way, so was Ava Moore. But because it didn't fit the narrative, it didn't fit the goal, it's not going to be talked about.
And it shouldn't matter.
Illegals have more than American citizens, the way they look at it. They are the future of their power, and that's all that matters to communists. First and foremost, communists are only and always about power. Doesn't matter anything else. You can be like, so are you a school teacher or a communist? I'm a communist. I teach school on the side.
That's right. My bigger goal. I couldn't care less.
I'm a communist, but I'm an attorney.
Yeah.
When I'm not doing that.
That's right.
I'm a communist, but I work as a judge. It's always first and foremost, every time.
I couldn't care less if these kids can read and write. They're actually more hard to manipulate if they can read and write.
Helps me maintain my power. And
right.
what's first and foremost?
Most important?
Power.
That's right.
Every time. So when it doesn't fit the narrative, it's because it's going to draw on the power. And the power is all that matters.
But Chris Cuomo, he's reformed. He talks about the issues now. He talks about the topics.
Chris Cuomo's playing the game.
That dude is a
He's
fraud.
just playing the game. Here's the new game. Here's where I got to talk.
That's exactly right. Jake Tapper doing the same thing. He's out on this book tour telling you how he can't believe that he was misled by the Biden White House. And he had no other information. So he just had to go with what they told him. He just had to report it like it was.
I didn't know.
How was I to know? That's what they were telling me.
I think about comedian Dave Smith, and we enjoy him on this show, noted libertarian. When he got a chance to end up doing a debate with Chris Cuomo, tore him apart. Like it wasn't even. You realize how empty of a suit that person is. They are a news person that is basically on the news, portraying whatever that particular station wants them to do. That's it. That's all. He does not have beliefs of his own.
No. And they'll outright sell themselves out because they'll say it one day this way, and if the pay is good enough, they'll tell it another way.
And why did Jake Tapper never question anything? Because you keep a job. You keep your power. Again, what's first and foremost? Power. You keep all of it by playing the game. Right, comrades?
Yeah, that's right. What about the Cory Booker salute versus the versus the Elon Musk? Let me read you Keith Olbermann's statement.
By the way, there might not be a dumber person on Twitter.
No, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Musk's hand is closed, fingers together. That's a salute. Cory Booker's fingers are open. That's a wave goodbye. Wait, what? If you go back and look at the video, you won't tell a difference. Keith Olbermann got nothing going on. He can't keep a job no matter where he is because he's so unhinged. Like, even ESPN was like, Eesh. When ESPN is afraid to hire you or afraid to keep you on, that's when you know things have gotten bad because they believe everything he says. They want to report it.
I think he's worked at like 6 different places. And every single time, no matter where he's been, it always ends the same way. He's nuts. Nobody likes dealing with him. Every time.
I like to laugh and roll my eyes at him because it's a quick check for me on what the crazy left is. All you have to do is pull up his Twitter page, his X page, and you will immediately know where they are because that's what they believe. he's not afraid to say it. He's not afraid to call it like the left, the communist, sees it. And even the leftist media are afraid to say it to that extent. They're going to get all around it. They're going to hit all around it without saying it.
It's been 7 years since he's had a legitimate spot on television.
I hope he saved well.
And the last time when he was on ESPN in 2018, that was his third tenure, and it ends the same way every time. It's like, he's nuts. All right.
That's right.
Like he was too crazy for MSNBC.
Dude.
I mean, ponder that one. That we're not talking about the presentation. The guy's good at what he does. The presentation. He's insane
as a guy.
As just being somebody to be around. I mean, the guy legitimately has been a shut-in since 2020.
He's out there.
He doesn't venture outside.
It's unbelievable. But he's still out there.
Like, find video of Keith Olbermann outside.
Yeah.
Good luck. Outside of a balcony.
Never. He's horrified. Is he still wearing masks? I'm sure he is.
Sure, he's doing all of it.
Yeah, because it lines up with everything he believes.
Well, Keith Olbermann is the one that was on with Dan Patrick in the beginning,
yes,
right?
It's a big show.
Yeah, he was that was.
Yes, it was classic. It was the best the ESPN has ever been. But it was always going to change because that was how you got highlights. Now you get them on your phone. So it was always going to alter, and as it became what it became, Keith Olbermann went elsewhere, do his own thing, and it just got crazier and crazier.
And he's still doing his own thing by himself because nobody can stand to be around.
Yeah, Dan Patrick, in the meanwhile, just ends up hosting you know what? It was a very friendly, although be it sometimes mediocre sports show, but he went off and did that for 30 years, and then, all right, retired and fine standing.
And, got his start in Atlanta on 96 Rock back in the day. And then, yeah, like you said, just continue. Great relationships. That's how he's had all those great guests over the years. Even the show is just okay, which Lowe's is right. It's fine. A lot of great. If you
went and did it for 30 years
and has been successful. Olbermann, not a chance. Just because he's that crazy. When we come back in a world of 80-20 issues, the Dems are sitting at 19%. Next on Extra. 106.3.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Well, this commentary isn't going to make me a lot of friends, but make no mistake, I really love Atlanta. It gave me a career, a great one, and a wonderful wife, and a precious daughter. If I didn't love Atlanta, I wouldn't be as upset as I am over these headlines I see day after day after day in the newspaper and on TV. Examples from just a few days. Fulton elementary teacher shot, killed after party. 2 bystanders shot during business dispute in DeKalb. Police say rideshare driver shot passenger in Midtown. Massive teen brawl in Paulding County leaves 1 injured, 1 arrested. Gun pulled out during fight at Newton County Walmart. Georgia Tech student dies after being shot in the head at off-campus apartment. Gunfire sends McDonald's diners ducking after wild shootout in DeKalb. 4 teens shot in Snellville Park. The park I used to fly hot air balloons out of, by the way. 5 minors injured in shooting at Gwinnett County Park. McDonald's drive-thru blocked off after car shot up in DeKalb County. Man found shot to death on patio at Southwest Atlanta apartment. Now, I don't have to tell you that every single one of these stories involved black males. So why am I highlighting this culture of violence that permeates Atlanta again? Well, during the month or so that I collected these headlines, not one story on any TV station or in the newspaper that mentions this culture of black violence, not one story asking why are black males the #1 cause of death of black males? Instead, for instance, we get a story in the AJC, black trail rides no longer just for cowboys. Wow. When do you think the people that count will start paying attention? No time soon, I suspect. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Extra 106.3 is live on your ride home with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder from 3 to 6 p.m.
I go through the golf course area because I love to see the beautiful guys' wives who are just strolling with their dogs and the guys playing golf on the course
Mrs.
at noon, reminding me of when I had a life there. But anyway, it's just for punishment, just to get ready to come into work to know that I used to have a life. God!
The Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app. The Morning Xtra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
Will he be charged with terrorism and a hate crime? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The man in the U.S. illegally who is accused of attacking a pro-Israel march in Boulder, Colorado. For now, he's facing weapons and assault and murder charges, though so far we know of no deaths.
8 people were burned by the suspect using what is described as a makeshift flamethrower.
The suspect was heard to yell, "Free Palestine," during the attack.
Mark McCulloch with the FBI in Boulder. The victims were participating in a march to support hostages held by Hamas in Gaza.
There's a woman who was on the ground bleeding out. Oh my gosh, sorry. And then there are 2 other women whose calves were burned.
The suspect is identified as an Egyptian national named Mohammed Sabri Soliman, and authorities say he is illegally present in the country, having overstayed his visa.
That's Fox's Evan Brown. As they protested Hamas still holding hostages, Israel hit Hamas with more airstrikes in Gaza, where Palestinian officials say at least 14 people were killed. The day after 31 died when gunshots hit a crowd near a food distribution site. Israel denies it's responsible, saying they only fired warning shots and not at civilians. Russia and Ukraine holding direct talks today in Turkey, but they've been far apart so far, trying to work out a ceasefire. After Ukraine's biggest attack inside Russia over the weekend, Fox's Peter Ducey reports from the White House.
We were told yesterday that President Trump was actually given no heads up during the year and a half of planning by Ukraine for these complex drone strikes against Russian long-range bombers at various airfields.
That's Fox's Peter Ducey again at the White House. The Senate is working this week on the House-passed Big Beautiful Bill, as President Trump calls it, to fund his agenda from border security to tax cuts. Some Republicans won't support it until there are more spending cuts. GOP Senator Ron Johnson tells Fox Sunday Morning Futures the bill will make the national debt bigger.
My loyalty is to the American people, to my kids and grandkids. We cannot continue to mortgage their future.
America's listening to Fox News.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
For hourly Fox News updates and the best in conservative news and talk, keep it on Extra 106.3 or download the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10. Bonus hour, we call it. The 9 o'clock hour when things can go off the rails.
We call it the Bower.
Yeah, that's right. The bonus hour, run it together, the Bower. And this morning, it got off the rails relatively early. We were soliciting for milk for a coworker. We were giving away Metallica tickets. The keyword to win them was fingernail. It was a little bit gross, but worked. It stuck.
Brad was the champion?
That's exactly right.
Sweet. Where does Brad go to school? Did he mention that?
I didn't get that. He said he was in Marietta, so I'm guessing Kennesaw State.
Okay.
Maybe
just like me, a fellow
classes.
owl.
There you go.
Hooty hoo.
Summer classes or something. Yeah, man. KSU, is it now the biggest university in the state?
Like, I know Georgia State had something to say about that.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, I think Georgia State is still the biggest as far as enrollment.
Okay. But KSU, they're trying to creep up on them. They're continuing to grow and grow and grow and build and build. Aren't they building? I feel like they're building a new new stadium or something over there? Somebody was telling me about it over the weekend.
All right, right now from the 2024 fall data, you have Georgia Tech and Georgia State that are pretty competitive with it, with an enrollment of 53,000 students.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, KSU at 47,000.
Well, they're creeping up though.
They're getting in there.
It used to be just a commuter school. That's
yeah,
why.
and I didn't
Not
get
anymore.
when I was there, and I still don't think you get the traditional college experience.
Maybe not.
And but I mean, it's fine school, fine program.
Absolutely.
Yeah, full and part time for Georgia Tech is 47,946. But yeah, then the numbers change if you get rid of like part time students, and so that's where it changes. So Georgia State's 34,000, but then they're closer to the 46,000 when you count everybody. Same thing with Kennesaw State, about 45,000.
All right.
University of Georgia, 41,000.
There you go. Hooty hoo. Loving those Owls over at KSU. Got good programs.
Got a real pretty baseball field.
Beautiful baseball field.
Really nice program.
Yeah, and then they've got the School of Music over there, School of Entertainment over there. That some pretty impressive resources. I know John Hopkins from Zach Brown Band, Clay Cook, Zach Brown Band.
Tug is planning
Corey
on
Coles.
teaching at the School of Country.
That's right. Exactly.
Can I share? Rhubarb Jones was one of my communications professors, and
God rest his soul.
I had him. Yes, he was great professor. Just a whole fun class to be in.
Car accident?
No, I don't
believe it was his heart. What?
Maybe something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that. But I had him for a few classes, and at the beginning of every semester, the way that he started his class, he'd walk up, kind of get him, everybody hush and everything, get him up, and he'd go, "This hand shook the hand of the king." And he'd go into this story about Elvis Presley. And then he'd demonstrate how he could still do a 60-second live read. It was
Rhubarb Jones. He was classic, man.
One of a kind.
Country radio royalty for years and years and years in Atlanta. And
well, that's where you're headed.
One day I'll be like Ruby, maybe. But no, seriously, Coy and John and Clay Cook from Zach Brown Band, they go over and teach classes. I mean, several times a year. Between the three of them.
That's really cool, actually.
And they talk about the music
business.
business.
Professor, and here's who it is. That's really cool.
And the music business, like here's the way it is presented, and this is the way it really is, signing deals.
I love listening to that stuff.
Tour.
I'm so into that.
Me too. It's fascinating to hear them.
Like when I was listening to Jelly Roll talk about when he signed his deal and how because he had such a following on YouTube, he's like, I don't have to sign any of y'all's deals. You're going to sign my deal.
That's right.
I don't need y'all.
Yeah.
And by the time, as he says it, he's like, he thinks he has like the best deal in Nashville.
Yeah. Broken Bow Records is the label that he's on. And my buddy, dear friend of mine, Scotty O'Brien, is his rep for the entire Southeast U.S. and spends lots of time with him and Aldine and all those guys at Broken Bow. Broken Bow was the tiny startup that became a major player in a world of just corporate, huge conglomerates. Broken Bow started by an individual and now still one of the most successful record labels in Nashville. They have Jelly Roll. They have, because they can do deals like that. They have the ability, they have flexibility. They can do whatever they want to. They're independent.
Exactly. As an independent, they don't have to check all those boxes that everyone else has to check. Instead, it's, all right, do we have this artist under our wing? Okay, cool. Make them a deal.
Is it going to be beneficial to them and us?
Yeah.
Are we both going to make money, which is the goal? If that's the case, let's get out there and do it.
And that's
now
the
they have
difference.
one of the strongest rosters in all of Nashville.
Rather than it being like a 95-5 split, hey, you know what? We'll make our 45, you make 55, or we'll make our 40, you make 60.
Whatever it is. And they get it done always and have been so successful doing so. And I don't expect that's going to change anytime soon. Jelly Roll's such a fascinating guy anyway. Incarcerated at like 14. And now,
drug dealer,
and now goes when he's on tour. When they make tour stops, they always reach out to the police departments, the sheriff's departments, and he goes and sits with people who are incarcerated. Sometimes younger, sometimes it's just Gen Pop. But he goes and sits down with those people in jail and says, "I was where you are."
I forget where he was, but he actually got a few guys who were still in prison. He talked to the sheriff and was like, "Hey, can we get these guys?" Brought them out on stage and let them sing with him.
May have been Nashville for that show because it was like 25 guys. It was quite a few.
Yeah, he's done it a couple of times, I think.
One of the stories about him that I still I think about, like, okay, I didn't know anything about him until, heard a little bit of music, saw him do a couple of interviews, and the first thing was like, well, look at the weight, look at the tattoos. Then it's like, there's a lot more going on there. And to start to hear him tell those stories, like, for instance, since he's still a felon, there's neighborhoods in Tennessee he can't live in.
Yeah. All that, the governor of Tennessee just pulled it back.
And that's what he was asking for at the time.
All he wanted was clemency for that.
I bet he can't do shows in Canada.
Now he can, because that has been removed, expunged from his record. He was able to do Canada this summer. Because
how often do you have a felon, like, where you would say, hey, I'm in a neighborhood, it's a $2 million house, and there's a felon who's trying to buy it. Is he a drug dealer? No. Is he whatever? No, it's a jelly roll.
Yeah.
Former drug dealer.
Yeah. Incarcerated at 14 for doing it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing Jelly Roll at your neighborhood pool?
But he's out and about, man. He doesn't. I mean, he can't hide himself. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Although he's lost 200 pounds.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of basketball and eating right. It's good for him.
They do cold plunges on tour every day or every other day.
Y'all ever take part in that? Because that's huge.
I've always wanted to, but I've never been brave enough to
I've
do
done it once. Like when I was really on my health kick this time last summer, I was finishing every shower with a cold shower, but that's not the same.
No.
And I did get a chance to do the real deal cold plunge.
My daughter enjoys them, but we have to do it, fill up the bathtub with ice, let her do her thing. To see the amount of cold plunge, like independent, actual cold plunges you can put like out on the deck, the amount of people that do them.
A friend of ours just bought one.
And they do
2
talk
weekends,
about how good it is for your health.
3 weekends ago, and invited everybody over. And I almost
therapy, the one where there's a couple of places around town where you can do that, and it gets to like negative 220 degrees.
My daughter's done it. Yeah,
now that one's. I still don't. That's not as effective, I think, as the cold plunge because it's not a. There's something about being in the water and being submersed, but it is cool because you go in there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes and they let you pick out your song. It's got lights and lasers in there to
keep your
you
brain
engaged.
keep your brain off it.
So I did kickstart my heart.
That boy.
Yeah. I was like, if anything's going to keep me warm, this will do it.
The operations manager is walking in here and
he just
he kind of gave me the look of like, you're on my list, because I called him earlier in the day, in the 6 o'clock hour, and asked him about, hey, we've got this milk issue going on. Is there anything we can do to help? And I think I woke him up. I don't think he appreciated the phone call at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, he was dead asleep. What had happened, in case you'd missed it earlier, what happened? The refrigerator, for 2 weeks, they were telling everybody in the office, hey, we're going to clean out this refrigerator as of this past Friday. And one of our coworkers didn't read any of the 200 emails that said we're going to clean out the refrigerator. They didn't see it show up on their calendar on their phone because it was there too. And their milk got thrown away, and they were very upset by it. And so Los and I did what any good coworkers
They were
would
punching
do.
trash cans.
Well, they were, yes. We were trying to limit the damage that maybe they would do to the office or their self or their reputation. And we solicited for milk, lactose-free milk. Now, we failed in our mission. I mean, it sucks. I wish we could have done more.
I know.
But wasn't for lack of effort. We are team players, and it's very clear. And that's why, I think that's actually why Scotty gave you the eyes.
I hope so, because
I appreciate the team effort.
I have found Lactaid, which is lactose-free milk.
Sounds delicious.
Whole milk. Okay, yeah. I mean, maybe I can order this to the office.
Yeah, just Amazon it here.
Yeah, I can just Uber Eats it and be like, here, look who got you milk.
This is what we do. We don't share malinformation.
No, not malinformation. We do not steer you in the wrong directions.
Mm-mm.
We don't tell you lies. Now,
we
will delve into some conspiracy theory from time to time.
Well, it's just like how the pyramids were built. Did we ever go to the moon? We believe that we did.
Such a thing as a Yeti. The Sasquatch.
Not the cup.
Our friend in the woods.
Yes. So he might be a listener.
That's right. It could be. That very well could be. I struggle with that one. And it's okay. You can have stronger beliefs on this show. You can have stronger beliefs one way or other. No one's going to put you down. No one's going to curse at you. No one's going to treat you lesser than like maybe they would on the left.
It's an arena of ideas.
It is.
And things are open for discussion and fun.
And that's what we do here.
Especially if there's a big man that's standing on a mountain, and if you can see him from where then you know that's like a giant.
Without a doubt. Be hard to miss. If you saw a Yeti, you'd know it. If you saw a Bigfoot, you'd know it. And the most recent one I remember is the train. The people riding in
the train, and it's just sitting there on the mountainside.
Yeah,
that was legit.
I don't know what to think of it. What to make of it?
You saw the size of it.
I did. It was just mammoth.
You would have to take
Gargantuan.
a 7 or 8 foot man and put him in a suit and have him do that in order to, from where that distance is shot.
That's right. I still am not 100%. I don't know what it was. I don't have any idea. I did see the video. It did not appear to be AI
The
generated.
video is real. I don't know if the beast is.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'd like to believe it to be so.
Yeah, that's right.
I know both of you guys are very, very busy with your families, but I would like for one of the next field trips that we do is to go on up to Blue Ridge and go to the Sasquatch Museum.
We should.
We'll bring some audio equipment. We'll record it and document it.
There's a Sasquatch Museum?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
In
that.
Blue Ridge, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Look it up.
I think it's right off 411.
Yeah. Yeah, it's they've got a wooden statue of a Sasquatch out front.
Yes.
Yeah, it's carved out with a chainsaw.
I think you can actually go on a hunt. You can go, well, not a hunt, but you don't want
to hunt that thing.
No. I mean, it's an endangered species. But
clearly,
you might be able to find them. I think if you charter a guide, they'll take you out in the woods and go hollering for them.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've not done this, obviously.
No.
Oh, yeah. So
No, I've
maybe
heard
we
tell.
can do that. Maybe we can do that one weekend. Like this past Friday, we took a team field trip. What do they call those bonding field trips? Bonding field trips?
The team building.
Team building field trip. We did it to Good Old Days.
Yes, we did. It was fun. We had a great time. Thank you, Cap.
Had a ball up there, as we always do. Great company. Great folks there.
We stayed out of the way of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Tried.
Because, well,
as best we could.
It's what happens. It's the lunch crowd is the retiree crowd, but they're also the protectorate crowd. So, like, once you're there, like, they were still trying to figure out what to think about Jure. Tug, you saw it in. Like, Tug walked in. They're like, Tug is here.
Yeah. But I've been there a dozen times.
Right, so that's why they're like, hey, he's in the protected crowd.
I was sharing some of my stories about, just bad decisions and maybe a tattoo here and there. And there was a very nice woman who was sitting next to me
Gave
that
you
was
the weirdest look.
She was just giggling.
You got a pizza tattoo?
She's like, you have what kind of tattoo? Like, she's not...
Slice of pizza.
She's not exactly judging.
No.
She's not saying anything, but she is listening.
And giggling.
And giggling over, like, did
I hear what I think I
That's
heard?
really bad decisions.
That's right. How many cold beers did you have when you got the pizza tattoo? The Democrats are in a bad way, y'all.
Yeah.
They take the 20% of every 80-20 issue, and it's led them down the path to being liked even less than that, 20%.
So when we look at 2 months ago, you had a 23% approval rating, and then it dipped down to 21. And we went, 21, okay, here's where the floor is. Like, it's got to be the floor at this point. It's now 19% approval. And this was according to a CNN poll. Now, here was the surprising end of this. It's not that Democrats are just unpopular. Like, that's just known. That's how it is. They're wildly unpopular with Democrats.
That's right.
That is the reason why it's so low. They look at them as not only being inept from a leadership perspective, that there are no strong leaders on the Democrat Party, but then the fallout of being lied to in the way that they were. It really is like that feeling of the spouse that was cheated on. Like, I tried to raise money for you. I ran these elections. I got on the phone boards. I walked and canvassed the neighborhood. And you told me that my guy was totally with it. And you told me that men can be women and women can be men. You told me all these things, and they all turn out to be lies and figments of imagination. 19%. It's not just us. It's not just the people that listen to this radio program and say, yeah, I wouldn't vote for Democrats.
Us too.
Democrats are also going, we don't care for our leadership. We don't care for these people.
Strong leaders in the party, the Democrat Party, the Democrat faithful, the Democrat voters, on the statement of does the Democrats have strong leaders in the party, 16% say they have strong leadership. And that should be very obvious to most everybody. I mean, when they send out a representative that fashions himself as a woman to be the communication arm to reach out to men that they've lost completely, that tells you where they are. They're spinning. They got nowhere to go.
Well, 80-20 issues, just by their nature, are going to include a lot of Democrats. There are a lot of Democrats that will look at an issue and say, yeah, I'm with the 80%. And their party is busy still pushing, hey, we got to be on the 20% side of things. Again, the CNN polling, just you talked about strong leaders. Also, the party that gets things done. They're viewed at 16% and 19%. They're both in that area.
Below 20. With their own voters.
With their own voters that are like, we can't get anything done. Like, granted, you can't because you don't have power. But even when you do, you know, there's no where are you going? What direction do you want to take the country? Especially with the direction it's currently going in right now.
Trending in the right direction. Where we saw, it was announced last week.
Last week, for the first time, a majority of Americans believe that we are going in the right direction, according to Rasmussen polling and a couple of others.
And then you see the number of personal wealth coming in, and it tripled the expectation. People actually saving and making money in the economy for the first time in probably 4 years.
So for me, the time that I have felt this has been when I've now left Publix. And, you know, we're shopping as a pleasure. The amount of times over during the Biden administration where I walked out of there, felt like I grabbed like 4 or 5 things, and I'm like, why am I paying you $60? What is going on is as fuel prices have dropped and now it costs less to get goods to market, you're now having, this is the important part, you're now having companies compete on price in order to get it lowered so you'll come in the door.
Imagine that.
They weren't able to do it before. Now, with the fuel prices coming down, they can say, you know what? Our milk is 30 cents cheaper than down the street. Yeah,
we can beat that. And we will. And we're going to beat it. We're going to be competitive in this marketplace now that we can be. And the American people are responding. They're seeing it. Except the Democrats. that 16% that's hanging on. I mean, I don't know what they're hoping for. I don't know what they're expecting. What is it that they have that's convinced 16%, which is a putrid number, but there's still 16% of Democrats are going, yep, this is exactly the way I want it. God.
Who is that 16%?
That's what I'm saying. Who's the knuckle? I mean, Keith Olbermann, Aunt Peg.
Keith Olbermann, Aunt Peg, yeah.
They're hanging on for dear life.
They got to be the 16%. That last little bastion.
Dictator, he's awful. Except for everything he's doing is improving your life. What did Los say? We're going to drag you kicking and screaming with us.
You're heading to prominence. You may not want to go, but you're going.
When we continue on Extra 106.3, Adam Carolla is noticing the problem that Dems have trying to reach out to those men. It's the issues. It's not the language. We've told you this. Now Adam Carolla's picked up on it too. Play him next. On Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hours, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters. They do anything on the outside of your home. 12 months, 0% financing, 10% off any deal. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co.
Extra 106.3 app is your live connection to the station, streaming free across Georgia. But it's also loaded with all our original shows and podcasts. Listen to exclusive shows from Janelle King, Ben Burnett, and so many more. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Finally, it stopped raining. It seemed like it's been raining for the last month. But for the next few days, it's going to be nice again. And this nice Georgia sunshine that we all love, you are in luck. Because if you've got that spot that remains because the rain is gone, that spot's still there. That wet spot that's on the sheetrock in the ceiling, on the roof of your house with the big drip, the hole. Whatever it is that you haven't gotten fixed, now you've got some time with this sunshine. You know that spot's not going away, though the rain has. Now's the time to get Southern Exteriors out to your home. 10% off any job, 12 months, 0% financing. They don't cut corners. They don't leave a mess. They do dependable work. They get the job done right. Here's how you get a hold of them to get the roof taken care of. The worst thing that can happen to your home is having water inside it. 8779 Southern is their number. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. It's southernexteriors.co. Call them today.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
Military veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but lack trusted connections to expedite their path to success. That is, until they meet the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance goes the extra mile to reach veterans in their communities so they do not have to take this journey alone. With over 40 partners across 10 service areas, your donation goes a long way toward achieving maximum impact for a veteran and their family. Go to thewarrioralliance.org to donate today and commit to helping the Warrior Alliance change thousands of lives for the better.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
There's a new book out alleging Biden administration officials tried to hide their boss's decline. Now, some Republicans in Congress are investigating, yet voters were skeptical from the beginning. In November 2021, only 1 year after former President Biden was elected, more than half of voters in our Fox News national survey said his age was interfering with his ability to serve effectively as president. 53% felt that way, including 3 in 10 Democrats. That was just the start. By the 2022 midterms, our voter analysis election survey found 57% felt Biden lacked the mental capability to serve. And by July 2024, our final read, it was up to 2/3, 65%. So while some aides may have tried to mislead the public about the former president's condition, the numbers don't lie. Most voters didn't buy it. Be sure to check out our website, foxnews.com/poll. I'm Dana Blanton, and that's your Poll Paris.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Monday, June 2nd. The Department of Homeland Security has identified hundreds of cities and counties it says are not following the federal guidelines on immigration. In Georgia, the only cities listed were Atlanta and Athens. The DHS also listed the following counties: Athens, Clarke, DeKalb, Douglas, and Fulton. Mayor Andre Dickens refuted the allegation of Atlanta being a sanctuary city. The city of Mableton reached an agreement with Cobb County at an emergency meeting Friday night for police and transportation services. Mableton will pay Cobb $9.5 million for the unusual one-year deal. Cobb officials meet later today to discuss the agreement. And a DeKalb County 5th grader made it to the finals in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Sarv Dharavane was the first Georgia finalist in over 25 years and took home 3rd place. Today's weather: sunny, warm, and dry with some hazy skies due to Canadian wildfires. Temperatures will reach the mid-80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hours, brought to you by Southern Exteriors. 10% off any job or 12-month 0% financing. SouthernExteriors.co or 8779-SOUTHERN. Anything to do with the outside of your house, they can fix it, they can repair it, they can replace it, they can make it the way it's supposed to be, and they'll do you right. We've documented all the wrong ways that Democrats are trying to speak to American males. They call it the SAM Project, Speaking to American Males. I mean, they have an acronym and everything. It's the dumbest thing in the history of the world. They're like, we're going to spend $20 million on this program. Joy Behar, we played her earlier. The fact that she was like, we don't need to do that. We just need to teach them not to be sexist. That's what we need to spend the money on.
That's all they need to do is just scold us some more.
That's right. That'll work.
That works on every man.
It's worked so far. Why wouldn't it work here? Of course it's going to work. Adam Carolla has kind of found and run into what we've been saying. It's nothing to do with the language. It's nothing to do with the money. It's everything to do with what you actually believe.
Or the whole idea that you're having a meeting
of college-educated people that try to figure out a way to communicate with folks that work with their hands is off already. Stop trying to convince people you're something and start becoming that you're trying to convince us you are. Kamala Harris never worked at McDonald's, but she wanted to convince us she was the kind of person that worked at McDonald's because then we would like that kind of person. You're going to have to just find that kind of person.
Yeah.
You're not going to convince people that's who you are. You're not. You don't know that world. Those dudes are not down with any of your he-she. They don't want any of it. You guys don't like pickup trucks with American flags on it? Guess who's driving those pickup trucks? Those dudes.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to just scrap all your ideas from the last 10 years and pretend to be normal.
Pretend to be normal.
But they can't, because the minute they bring those things back up, you see things that aren't normal. You're watching Sesame Street. The thing that is on Sesame Street on your screen right now is not normal.
Here we go. You want to take a look at this one? This is called grooming. And who is doing it? Gay men in beards. This is not how you reach.
But dressed as a woman.
Dressed as a woman.
With like a skirt and a
full-on beard.
But it's a completely a man dressed as a woman trying to talk to Elmo and Cookie Monster.
Right. This is your Democrat Party. This is the Democrat Party. Take a look. That is the Democrat Party.
It's not normal.
That's them. It's not dude in pickup truck with the American flag. Yet they're going to try and convince him that, listen,
normal.
This is normal.
That's regular. That's maybe even your neighbor.
Elmo loves Lady Gaga.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. What he said is so true. I fly the American flag on my front porch. They hate the American flag. They think it is built on colonialism and the backs of whomever. They've got a list that they'll gladly share with you over and over and over and over again. They hate pickup trucks. Why would anybody need a pickup truck? They're gas guzzlers. They're ruining the environment.
Fine, great.
Yeah, but that's
fun.
But that's so. To his point, the things that you detest is who you're trying to speak to.
Right. The things that you hold your nose at. And you're like, oh, these putrid, horrible people. Like one of the aspects that you hear from them constantly is, well, it's only us educated people that vote for Democrats. The other people, they're not educated.
The uneducated vote for Donald Trump.
Okay, statistically, yeah, no, you're correct. The problem is that education is not leading to intelligence in this country. Experience is right now.
Educated idiots. That's what they used to be called. I remember in the Navy, they would call them educated idiots. Because it would be...
You don't know enough to know that you don't know anything.
Right. Those ensigns coming out of the Naval Academy, they would come to the ship, and most of them were pretty cool. You know, they wanted to learn. They knew they didn't know everything. But then once in a while, you would get the ensign, and he'd have his butter bar on. That's what they called it, because that's what it looked like, a stick of butter. And he would just come in there wreaking havoc, telling you how it's going to be. And then you would leave them high and dry a few times, and all of a sudden, things got very clear. I don't know a whole lot. Maybe I should listen.
I think a lot of, in this day and age, in this information technology age, if you want to know about something, you just have to commit the time to it. That's why I enjoy watching the story stuff I do, or I'll get sucked into different shows, and I go down these different roads. Because if I don't know anything, it's because I chose not to. You know, I mean, that's
available.
If the Democrats really wanted to learn about regular people and how to reach them, it's not hard. But the problem is they look at it as being well below them, and they don't want to get. I don't want to get down in the dirt with those people. I'm like, what do you? How is the person that
repairs a toilet?
That man has an HVAC company. Ooh.
He's well beneath me. Now I'm going to need his service, and I'll make him put those little.
Gertrude, will you call the HVAC guy? We have a problem.
Make sure he doesn't come through the middle of the house, because he's probably going to have muddy boots. Make sure he puts those little things on, whatever those little covers are. If you're seeing those, now they do it all the time, just out of respect, I think.
You know what I wish I knew how to do? Work with electricity.
Yeah, me too.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
I'm very uncomfortable with it.
And you could get paid a grip of money doing it, because everybody needs it. Everybody doesn't need gender study classes.
No.
As a matter of fact, nobody needs those.
So I'm in the house over the weekend and I'm making adjustments to the home network. I'm like, well, I'm tweaking this, and I'm changing this, and I'm going to put this over here. And I'm thinking, okay, I know how to do this sort of stuff. It's actually kind of cool. Let me build in the security. All right, I got this. And then I thought, and if I don't have an electricity, none of this works.
That's right. Wish I could.
I was like, so I've got this whole, hey, look what I'm able to handle. And then the baseline of it, I'm like, and I can't handle that part. I need to invest the time. I need to learn how to do this stuff.
And maybe when the girls are done playing ball, you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to, because I know that's been a hindrance for me too. But here's another thing. If you want to learn anything, Open Learn, Academic Earth, Khan Academy, Stanford Online, Harvard Online, Carnegie Mellon, Duke University, Michigan, University of Michigan, MIT, Princeton, University of California, Irvine, Yale, and UPenn. Guess what they all offer? Free classes online.
Free.
You don't have to pay a thing. You don't have to go to their campus. You don't have to do anything. And you can study the same things that they're studying at those universities free in your living room if you choose to do it.
I'm going to go to electrician school.
And there's Lincoln Tech.
I'm going to add. I'm going to walk in there and they're going to be like, so, sir, we understand you have a master's. I'm like, it's not useful. I want to learn how to work with electricity.
Yeah, let me figure this out. And you know what the difference would be? You know how you heard Gertrude, call the HVAC man.
Gertrude, we have a problem with the electricity.
Guess what they wouldn't do at Lincoln Tech when you walked in?
Have to call for somebody to help them with the electricity?
Well, but no, they wouldn't treat you like the way that some people treat people that work with their hands. They wouldn't treat you that way. They'd be like, oh, you're coming to learn electricity? Good. We got a whole classroom, man. We're going to get after it here in about 30 minutes.
Be kind of cool. It's like, I just came to sit in and learn.
They wouldn't treat you any kind of way. Harvard, people Harvard educated, they treat you a certain kind of way because you're beneath them.
Yes.
And they make it clear. They want you to know.
Well, if you don't share their belief system, then you can never possibly be where they're at.
And they will probably challenge you. They'll question you. They'll give you the good rundown to see.
I would love to see the difference if we were to ever say, all right, let's go sit in on some classroom where you're learning a trade versus let's go to a hoity-toity class.
Dude, I'm telling
and
you,
see the difference.
Night and day, I promise you. Think about just the videos you've seen of people that record their professors that have, gone off the deep end telling you about the patriarchy or whatever it is.
Right.
And then somebody recording a class at Lincoln Tech or at Gwinnett Tech or one of the schools here in town where they're just teaching you HVAC or teaching you electricity. The difference in the way that they deal with you, the way that they look at you, and the respect that you're offered at one versus the other. Night and day difference. The regular folks going to treat you kind, and the people that are Harvard educated that's got gender studies degrees going to treat you like you're an alien.
I still remember I was getting an exam proctored at a local university. I'll just say that. I won't have to give away too much information on this one. And so I showed up, and I was very friendly. I was like, oh, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Looking to take care of this. All right, appreciate your time. This is what I did, right? Within a couple of minutes, this person, it turns out they did an African-American studies course. They were having to proctor a business exam. They looked at it as being underneath them.
Mm.
They started reading me the riot act for addressing them like I knew them. And they started telling me all about, oh, you came in here like a used car salesman. You do this and this and that. And in my mind, I'm going, I'm 30 years old with a wife and a kid and 2 houses. I'm not the 18-year-old, 20-year-old that you're probably used to dealing with. And as we went along with this process, it turns out she didn't have her stuff in order to proctor the exam. And so I gave her listen, I know you were really big on how I was addressing you earlier. Do you think it would have been too much to ask that you be prepared? And now it's like, but here's the...
Now you're the bad guy.
But here was the experience of academia. You were demanding this crazy level of respect that went well beyond just normal Southern pleasantries. And apparently I was supposed to treat you like you were some sort of goddess. And then when it came to just doing your job, you couldn't do it. You weren't prepared to do it. But you were demanding some higher level. This is how these people work. They operate in their own headspace where they are superior to everyone.
Well, they've been told that too.
And she's not. She wasn't.
Yeah, but they've been told that. They've been told you are here because you have this degree or that degree from this university or that university. And that person that's coming to fix the toilet, their hands filthy. I bet they get poop on their hands.
I bet you they are disgusting.
We started this discussion. Los was looking at Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And I looked into it, and it turns out they are really teaching some pretty radical ideas on there. And Elmo has been learning some things.
From each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. Workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
Wow. That's going to be the new episodes on HBO. Didn't they just sign a big deal with HBO to leave PBS and go to HBO? I think Sesame Street did. That's the new things. That's the newfangled learning. It used to be, 1, 2, 3, ABC. Now it's
communism.
Infantata.
What's up?
Or whatever it's called.
Communist Manifesto brought to you by Sesame Street.
That's right. C for communism. Good Lord. What a disaster. And they want us to pay for it. No, thank you. No part. And growing up, I loved Sesame Street. I loved Kermit the Frog. I had a Kermit the Frog Timex watch when I was real young.
Oh, sweet.
Still got that thing. It's still in a
collector's item.
Probably so. I mean, it's legit. It's like 1982. I don't know, somewhere in there.
It's better than my MC Hammer basketball.
I doubt it. That's amazing. Jure ended up with a autographed MC Hammer basketball. We talked about it a little bit earlier, what it might be worth. What would it be worth to you? 404-741-1230. Maybe you can buy it off of them cheap. When we come back, let's talk about jobs that people have. Angel Reese, she's not very good at basketball. Maybe we can find her another job. Maybe in the...
She's good at making people money.
Well, she is that, for sure. Maybe laying bricks. Maybe a new job that she could do. Next on Extra. She's doing a good job at that.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, June 2nd. No milk for the Braves. They are off today after dropping 2 of 3 to the Boston Red Sox at home over the weekend. Up next, the Arizona Diamondbacks will be in town to open up a 3-game series beginning tomorrow night over at Truist Park. From the road to Omaha, Tug, the top 2 seeds are out as Vanderbilt and Texas did not survive the regional round. The last time this occurred with the top 2 seeds was 2014. Georgia Tech, they were out. They were eliminated by Ole Miss. Georgia, the same for them as they were eliminated by Oklahoma State. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
It's time to slide into summer at Truist Park as the Arizona Diamondbacks face the Braves, June 3rd through the 5th. And May and the A deals are extended through this series as well. That means $10 tickets and parking, $1.99 hot dogs, and $3.99 Miller High Life. Grab your crew and head to Truist Park to make the most of your summer. Find all the details for the month of June and purchase your tickets at Braves.com/summer. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Hey, this is Tom from The Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed. Honesty is the best policy, and we guarantee it. Finally, a pre-owned car and truck buying process that you can trust.
Get an honest car buy from The Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. ATL Turf Co. provided a pet-friendly turf, so it holds up to dogs. My dog likes to have friends over, so when they run around, chase balls, they can skid on it, they can slide on it. Nothing ever happens to it. The transformation of my backyard just looks amazing. We've referred ATL Turf Co. to all of our friends and family. Check them out online at atlturfco.com.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, cpapsetc.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Got a to-do list a mile long? No problem. We've got the ultimate solution, our Handyman for a Day program. Here's how it works. You get a skilled handyman dedicated to knocking out your honey-do list. Paint touch-ups, drywall repairs, door adjustments, and much more, all done in one day. You want to jump into spring and not worry about your home? Call us now before the rush for your Handyman for a Day, and call us at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day. The Trusted Toolbox.
With the tariffs going into effect, families are bracing for another wave of grocery price hikes. But GoodRanchers.com is tariff-proof because everything is from right here, 100% American. The supply chain, all of it, every cut that Good Ranchers offers is born here and raised here and harvested in the U.S., sourced directly from local family farms and ranches. Their products are incredible. You will taste the difference. For a limited time, Good Ranchers is doing something really amazing. When you subscribe, you get free meat for life. That's free ground beef, wild-caught salmon, seed oil-free chicken nuggets, or bacon in every box for the life of your subscription. So use the promo code BECK. You get $40 off your first order and meat for life. Now is the time to change the way you buy meat and tariff-proof your meals with Good Ranchers. The world is constantly changing. You should know that at least one thing remains the same: our great American ranchers and the great American meat. GoodRanchers.com. Use the promo code BECK. Unlock your free meat for life plus $40 off. GoodRanchers.com. American meat delivered.
Tell me one single policy idea the Democrats have come up with since they got wiped out in this last election. Nothing. Nada.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Happy with failure. It's fine. Just happy with failure. That's what the WNBA is. Just happy with failure. They have the maybe the best women's basketball player to ever play in that league, and she was super successful in college too. And it's funny because my son and his buds, when she was in college, would stop and actually watch her play. Like, she's great. They recognized her ability. They're like, man, she's blowing us up. She's the best basketball player on the floor. And they enjoyed watching her. Guess what they've not done? They've not made that leap to the WNBA because all she is fouled. All she is beat down and treated poorly. They have the opportunity to elevate the league past losing, $40 million a year, to potentially grow the audience a little bit. And no, they will not.
What a weird suicide cult. That you have the Tiger Woods of your sport that has walked in, that can sell out arenas and has so much money that can be pumped into the league. And you've decided that you don't want that because you want it to stay black and lesbian.
Yep, that's right.
That's you're like, this is our league. This is what we do. I'm like, hold on a second.
Foot down.
This actually works quite well if we do it a different way. And then you do have people like Angel Reese, where you could have like this rivalry and you build it into your Larry versus Magic.
That's exactly right.
You know, like this is what it's supposed to become.
Jordan versus Reggie Miller or something.
Right. This is supposed to grow the league. And yet now, like, people around the league get it as far as like, okay, hey, she's beautiful and she's a player. Okay, that actually works better. It's better to be beautiful than to be like some dynamic player. If you're both, that's even better. Like, that's awesome. But right now, Angel Reese is recognized for one thing. There is a betting game going on right now. And for those of you who take part in like daily fantasy or you do sports wagering, you know that you have different props that go into games. And right now, there's a prop that's been going on. And this one group of guys, it's like these 4 dudes that do this online sports betting, and they videotape themselves while they do it. They have been rolling over their money for 6 straight outings, and Angel Reese misses her first shot.
I've seen this on social media. I saw it on X.
So like they had it like the first day, and it was just okay. The third day, all right, now they're starting to make some real money here. Let's take the winnings, let's roll it in, and let's do the next day. So this was the last game. Keep in mind, there's some beeps and some craziness and audio because the mics get over-modulated. But listen to how crazy these guys go. They're filming themselves while they're waiting for Angel Reese to take her first shot in a WNBA game. And when she misses, this is what happens.
Day six, baby. Day 6. We're feeling good. We're feeling good. Here we go. Here it is.
Bricklayer.
Here it is.
Here it comes.
They keep making more money in the fact that they're wagering and rolling money over on she'll miss that first shot and we all get paid.
Yeah.
First quarter, she'll miss that shot, we all get paid. Over and over and over and over. It's hilarious.
Dude, the highlight reels of her and how bad she is as a player is unbelievable. It's hard to imagine that you're a professional athlete and you're that bad at the game.
Well, they have made her into because of who she is as a personality. They've done what they needed to do. She's got the black hat, which you need.
She's
that.
the villain.
You need that.
Yeah, she's the villain.
That's important. But now you got to play too.
And she can't.
Now you got to be like a stud. If you're a stud and you're wearing the black hat, that's awesome.
Absolutely. But she's not.
She was LSU, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Man.
Caitlin Clark, Iowa?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
And Angel Reese, they won the national championship. And so it was like, she was able to do this. But going forward, money-wise, everything has gone to being Caitlin Clark.
But to your point about what they could do with this versus what they are doing with it, I can't tell you another female basketball player's college wouldn't even have a guess. I know those two for sure because they've been elevated to that level. They've gotten national coverage. They've gotten the attention of a lot of people. And instead of handling it the way that any organization would, let's foster this. Instead, we literally want to injure Caitlin Clark so she can't play anymore.
Instead, you now have a group of yahoos that are wagering on her missing the first shot every night.
Never have I wanted sports gambling to be legalized in Georgia more than right now.
I don't even think it needs to be. You can just still do it. Yeah, I mean, everybody is. If you want it done.
Yeah, but you can't get those particular prop bets. The books around
the books won't do it. In the state of Georgia, they
Got it.
won't honor that. You have to go to North Carolina.
I see.
So you got to drive across the state line so you can play Angel Reese misses the opening basket.
I did have a good night on Friday. We were at Sidelines up there at Woodstock, and I got $150 on a $20 Keno ticket. So that was nice.
Dang, son.
Yeah.
All right. Georgia Lottery paying dividends.
And feeling good about it. Providing hope scholarships.
That's
for
right.
Millions or probably not millions.
I haven't played daily fantasy.
I bet it is. I bet it over the years been millions.
In about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
And because I normally I put it away after football season. It's like I just put it down and I'm like, all right, I'm done. And I'll wait for football season. Maybe a little bit of baseball.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe a little bit of baseball tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's make it a little bit more fun, right? I mean,
Sure.
Well, NBA Finals, that I will play. That by the time we get around to Thursday night game 1, I will select some. Yeah,
be in hook, line, and sinker.
I'll play 20 on that.
Pacers or Thunder?
Thunder.
Think Thunder?
Yeah, I think Thunder wins in probably 6 games.
What do we think the ratings are going to be?
They won't be good.
No.
This is I still remember probably like one of the ones that was the lowest rated that you had. First off, every time the Spurs are in. And I know this because of growing up there. And remember, they're market number 37.
Sure.
You can have every television in San Antonio, and it does not do enough. So when they played like New Jersey, that was probably the one where I was like, okay, this is going to be like really poorly rated.
Yeah, but I know they needed the Knicks to win. They wanted the Knicks to win. They were willing the Knicks to win, number one media market in the country.
That was the only in an NBA playoff game that I've actually watched just to root against the Knicks.
Me too. I literally was like, God, I hope they lose.
All right, so here are the
enjoyed it.
Here are the lowest 10 lowest rated NBA finals dating back to 1976. Tell me how right I am with these things. 2007 Spurs Cavs did a 6-2. 2003 Spurs Nets did a 6-5. The only one that would have somewhat you can point out is Celtics and Rockets. That was 1981. You then have to let's say the, again, least rated in modern times, Spurs and Pistons, 2005, 8.2. Every time the Spurs are involved, for the most part, outside of when they played LeBron James and the Heat, it's always the lowest rated.
Wow.
So you're going to have something very similar because Oklahoma City isn't much bigger.
No,
will it be Stanley Cup one night and then NBA the next night?
Smart.
Yeah, you'll flip them.
Smart. Yeah.
Flip them back and forth.
It'd be crazy not to.
Go Panthers.
There you go.
Keep the Snow Mexicans from getting Stanley Cup.
He's getting very liberal with his use of Snow Mexicans. He doesn't even call them Canadians anymore.
Vicious.
He's like the Snow Mexicans sent all this smoke over here. I was like, they did what? And I'm like, oh no, he's right. Yeah, they're burning.
I got it from you.
I learned it from you, Dad.
I learned it from watching you. I said it casually in conversation the other day, and my girlfriend was like, "What are you talking about?
What is this you speak of?
Did you see what the Snow Mexicans did? What? Who are you talking about? You know, the Canadians.
Right.
Why are you even watching hockey? You don't have a team.
That's right.
Gotta keep the Snow Mexicans out.
Well, we'll see. You may have a team.
Oh, that's funny.
You may have a team soon.
You might.
I keep hearing
to 2029.
Inching closer and closer.
2029 is the goal right now.
The announcement, though, I hear that announcement maybe just in the distance. Get a third trip. You know, and it's funny because the people that have no idea about Atlanta sports are like, wow,
why would it work? Well, the last time it was here, the owners actually bought the team just wanting the Hawks and didn't want the hockey team.
That's exactly
They tried to divest themselves of the hockey team to Atlanta Spirit.
Yes. So this third time, they say a third time's a charm. That's what I always hear.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we're going with. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, 877-9 Southern, southernexteriors.co for Dre and Los. And Simple Jack, too, our intern. My name's Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Xtra 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you the legend Neil Boortz, a live and local news talk show on your ride in, and the Kimmer Show every afternoon. Be here at 3 for the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, only on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.